Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the C Sports League tournament. We are in Raleigh, North Carolina. And to start us off, I would like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Visit Raleigh. Their support has been essential and the reason that we are here today. Students are able to compete for a prize pool, and this is awesome. If you have a big event, group trip, or anything, try to get to Raleigh, North Carolina. We also have another sponsor, Skyline. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have done it without the campus inside of Raleigh, and that's NC State University. The Wolfpack themselves repping it right there on the shirt. Just an amazing campus, such a beautiful campus, I will add, to be on. And I mean, their library, huge. I saw a lot of students, even though it's a Saturday being here, you can tell that they're learning a lot. And speaking of students being here, I know a lot of the crew from NC State has been working hard to make sure that this event is running smoothly and everything's going well. So big shout out to them and all of NC State for being able to allow us to hold competitions like this where teams all across the Carolinas can come and just have a blast, whether it's playing against rivals or friends or whatever, just all competing in one spot trying to win that championship trophy.
It has been a blast so far, and we have more Rocket League for you today. Our next match is going to be between you. Is beginning. Nutella and Steve on the kickoff. I think after the showings that I've seen so far, UNCG might have the edge, but the squad for UNCW is strong. Both teams have played great team offense, forcing for one another, as this one could start out, but a great save by Sluggish. What do you think this match is going to be like, Skyline?
Not too sure. I believe both teams right now are 1-0. I know Greensboro is, and I know Wilmington started out 1-0 with a 3-1 win over NC State. So they're going to be, both teams are going to be looking to capitalize on that because this will be a big one to determine possibly who gets the number one seed going in. Well, if I say number one seed out of this group with number 5 in total going in tomorrow, making the matchup possibly easier. But either way, each team are going to be looking to take it home here as we see game one already starting off with a bunch of aggression from both sides. You see UNCG, and once again, what we saw last game, going for a lot of those demos, trying to clear that space. But same thing from Wilmington. They're trying to keep it on that Spartan half and get some pressure of their own. But right now, the Spartans doing a great job of being able to keep it in that corner. Fatu trying to get the pass over on that backboard, but Nutella able to follow it up. A good bump puts it right back into it as Reticle taking that touch, and Flaky ends up overcommitting. And a team bump coming out there, maybe a premature high five from the two, as that's just going to lead nowhere. Back to their own half, though, as Sluggish not able to get any good contact off it, and that's going to go right back to the Spartans.
I think there's going to be a lot of poking prodding. That's my go-to line, especially in game ones, especially against teams that are both 1-0 in their group. Like you said, this might be the match that determines the number 5 seed or the number 1 in this group, as the pass comes down for 2 to Flaky, but a great save coming out from Reticle. Great team play coming out from both teams so far, forcing each other on the back line, passing to each other on offense. So far, Reticle seems to be content with letting his team take the brunt of Flaky and Fatu's offense, and Nutella seems content just letting his team put in work. This ball goes into the corner. Flaky gets 50'd out by Sluggish, and it stays in that orange corner. 2 players from UNCW go, and both miss. Nutella popping it over both. Flaky could shoot and does, but Reticle makes a great save on the back line as he gets bumped by both UNCG players. Bar down and in. Nutella able to slot one and putting UNCG up 1-0 halfway through game number 1.
I was like, Greensboro putting a lot of pressure onto this Wilmington half, where we just see them being berated with shots, but none of them going through until finally one going off the crossbar down and in, as we see Greensboro taking the lead here, as half this game pretty much already gone. As now we see Wilmington trying to get right back into it, but the bumps once again coming out for Greensboro. Shot goes on Sluggish with a good save out to the corner, trying to take control as Nutella going to stay on this ball and force for Flaky. Flaky playing it out quick as we see the aggression trying to mount again for the Spartans, but these Hawks are slowing them down. Another pass going out to the middle, no one to follow, and again, it's just back and forth in the middle. The demo trade goes through, that shot's far off, and Spartans will try to recollect this unless that shot goes on, but a good block from Fatu is going to keep it out.
Midfield pressure there for both teams, as there's a strong shot on target, but a great save by Sluggish. Bumping Flaky, still staying on the ball, but Sluggish gets control of it, dropping it in front of his own net. Nutella trying to capitalize on that mistake, but Steve does well to pop this one through. Blakey trying to buy time for his team, get some boost. Nutella trying to beat out the last, but Reticle is there, able to pop this one back mid. Steve holding that midfield pressure. Nutella is up, but puts it into the corner where we picked up by Sluggish. Whiff comes out from Steve. Bump gets put on to Reticle. Fake comes out from Flaky. Awkward play, but it is working out in favor of UNCW. Sluggish takes this one up, trying to get it down to Steve. Steve puts one on, but is slow and will be recovered. Demo on the back line. This could be a chance for UNCG, but Sluggish able to pop this one back to the midfield.
Wilmington doing a good job of getting it right back down into this blue half as we see Sluggish trying to keep pressure on. It might be a little bit of an overcommit as the whiff comes out on that sidewall, and that's going to go right back into the hands of Steve. Shot goes on. Nutella tries to float one in, but Sluggish again with that save on the back line. Steve just cutting his own teammate off. A little bit of miscommunication there might lead to a goal from Greensboro, but luckily for Wilmington, not going to read any avail to that. So again, Flaky's going up high, trying to take to the skies. Beats over one. We saw a big game from Flaky game one of the last series, seeing if he can maybe put up some more, as we haven't seen any goals from him, as only one goal's happened this game so far. A very close game, and I expect a close series as well, because I think whenever I talked to the Greensboro boys, they said that this series in league play went to either 4 or 5. I believe it was 4, if I'm correct, to where they still ended up taking the W, but with a close series like this, I mean, you can tell by the score itself. It's 1-0 right now, and it's looking as Wilmington might try to get a goal here within the next 20 seconds to try to tie this one up, but Greensboro is still keeping the aggression on. Only 15 seconds remaining as, again, Fatu trying to keep that press on, leaves for Flaky. Flaky, 10 seconds remaining, just trying to make sure that any goal doesn't happen for the Wilmington side, and Nutella shuts that down and puts the nail in the coffin for game one, as that's just a great play from the force and the shot, going to put them 2-0 up.
Barring an absolute miracle coming out of UNCW, this first game will go to Greensboro, and it's deserved. The pressure we saw that they had against UNC Asheville is doing wonders for them so far. There was a little kickoff trickery, but fortunately for Greensboro, they were able to solve it. Sluggish elects to drop this one down to the ground, and UNCG takes this game number 1.
I'll say hickory tickery, here comes the trickery, but nothing to come of it for either team as both teams missed the ball. Either way, the Greensboro putting on a strong showing, in Nutella 2 goals off the 2 assists from Fatu and Flaky, going back to their old roots of being able to keep that aggression on as a team and being able to create the space downfield and open it up. And even if one player can't put it through, we'll see someone always following up at second, ready to put it in if they can't. So a great job from Nutella to be that man who was the passing guy in the first series, now to be the shooting guy, which I talked about as, he's the mechanical guy. You expect him to be the one to score out of most, the others, Fatu and Flaky, even though they're still good in their own regard. But Nutella putting up the numbers, I at least expected of him, and they're looking to continue this against Wilmington.
Yeah, and I know we're giving a lot of praise to UNCG, but we cannot forget about UNCW. They did not go away. It was a low-scoring game until the very end, where UNC had to send it just a little bit to make sure that they could get one into the net, and because they overextended, UNCG was able to capitalize on it. UNCW looking to get back into this series. UNCG looking to keep the pressure on and keep it going. UNCW is a great team, but so is UNCG. I'm looking to see a little bit more of a connection between Fatu and Nutella. Nutella, I know, got both goals, but we saw Flaky and Fatu shooting and passing to one another, where that isn't the standard. I don't know if that's the game plan from UNCW or UNCG. It worked out effectively for UNCG, so I'd still want to see a little bit more from them. We saw it in the Asheville series, where it seemed like every passing play was between them, and it led to some crazy results, dominant games from them. Now, I'm rooting for UNCW. I'm looking for a little bit more creativity on that offensive line. I like the booming clears on target and trying to get that pressure on, but there isn't much the way of passing, making room for one another, and that's what worked against NC State in the first series. They were able to bump for one another, get each other out of the way, and that's what led to their success. And UNCG has done well to break through that, as a great save comes out from Reticle.
And something I'll point out from last game, as we talked about Wilmington Greensboro Greensboro is that Wilmington had 8 saves and 11 shots from Greensboro. Something we saw last series was that Greensboro was averaging about 12 shots a game, and they're still keeping that on, as we can see how aggressive they like to be. Whether it's a low-scoring game or a high-scoring game, you still see a lot of shots coming out from them because they want to try to make you as awkward as possible with how much they throw on target. And that's exactly what they're going for against Wilmington as well, as we see Wilmington having a very stout defense, being able to hold the line whenever they need to and still keeping it close. But as we can see here, still 0-0. They still got to find their first goal of this series, because right now there was just mistakes like that. The overcommits going through, third man getting dusted in the air by Nutella. Nutella gets his 3rd goal of the series with only 3 goals scored.
I don't think third man expected Nutella to go for that, but like you were saying earlier, he is the mechanical player. He will be the one diving for the ball. He will be going quicker than you. You have to be aware of his presence on the field at all times. This one pops back into the corner. Reticle trying to take it up, try to do it himself, maybe popping it over to a teammate, able to get it, but Fatu able to get a hand up and block it. Nutella out to Flaky. Flaky around one, but it's just going to go into the hands of Reticle. Reticle does well to pop it right back to the UNCG team, saying thank you for the pass. Here, have it back. Steve and Flaky get a midfield bump and 50 as this one goes down into the midfield, but Reticle is there for Nutella. Great demo from Sluggish, buying a little bit of time for UNCW, but great presence from UNCG to stay on that ball. Pass coming out over to Fatu. This is what I wanted to see, a bump on the back line. Flaky, can you capitalize on it? No. Steve is going to be there first, and this attack from UNCG has gone away.
Looks like Greensboro, they're still trying to stay aggressive, as you've seen. It's still going for those demos, but Wilmington trying to return the favor, as that is just going to be 2 demos back-to-back for Sluggish, but still nothing to capitalize of it, as they all have low boost. They're not able to get really any opportunities off of this because of that boost count. Their management hasn't been the best, and UNC Greensboro able to capitalize on it when they can, still keeping it this close, though, as Nutella gets a whiff on the backboard. The shot goes on, and finally, the first goal of the series for Wilmington after not getting a single one in game 1. The 1-2, Reticle gets the pass, Nutella gets the whiff, and Sluggish able to put that one past Fatu and Flaky to send it home.
Great change of pace coming out from Sluggish as well. He could have sent it, but the UNCG player was ready for it. So he tapped the brakes for a second, let the player fly by, and that led to the goal for UNCW. But this could be the counterattack. Fatu puts one on, but Reticle is there with the save. No boost on the goal line. What a save, keeping this game tied at 1. Nutella back to Flaky. Flaky trying to make some magic happen, but he doesn't have any boost. Looking for a bump on the back line. Reticle pops it a little too far. Nutella shot, but what a save from Steve, keeping this game tied. UNCG seems to have all the pressure, but UNCW doesn't seem to be folding under it. Quick counterattacks is the name of the game for them so far, and it has been working, but great 50s. Sluggish trying to pass this one over to Reticle. Reticle low boost, and Nutella is quicker, able to get back to this ball, trying to keep this one into the corner. This one's popped out, but sent into the opposite corner. Reticle trying to pop this one over to Sluggish. Sluggish trying to make something happen, but Nutella should be there. Awkward touch. Steve's shot, but it is saved away by Flaky.
So far, both teams kind of building a brick wall to their own, as we see 6 saves for Wilmington right now, as they have just been such a dominant force in that backline, make it 7 now with Sluggish getting another, making a hat trick of saves for him, as he has 3 now. They've just been building it brick by brick, and so far the only sledgehammer to take them down has been Nutella, as we haven't seen any other scoring from any other Spartan member. But this might be here, an open net. Flaky tries to get around it, but can't. That's going to pop up for Sluggish. Sluggish takes the touch out, but it's floating in the middle. It's a dangerous area, but no one on Greensboro is challenging. Finally, we get a touch up from Fatu. Back to the backboard, Sluggish in an awkward spot. It could be an open net. Flaky gets the shot through, and a unfortunate read from the third man on the back line for Wilmington allows Flaky just to have a wide open net, and he's going to take every advantage of that one.
Yeah, great patience coming out from Flaky, forcing the last back UNCW defender to jump just by having his presence near the ball on the goal line. Because of that, he was able to be patient and get a quick goal. Now with 15 seconds left, UNCW will need to send the house if they are going to stay in this game number 2. But Nutella sends an absolute screamer from midfield, and all but wrapping up game number 2.
Before this series happened, I will say I went out and had lunch with the Greensboro boys and talked to them about going into the series, what they were expecting, and they said beforehand that Wilmington was a team that was pretty much a rival of theirs because they had beef between each other, whether it's like friendly beef or not. They still had beef, so they were looking to go into the series. And Nutella specifically was the one talking about that, him and Fatu. So I know that the fact that he already has 4 goals in this series out of the 5 that's been scored, he is probably on cloud 9 and looking to capitalize it on it even more. But Wilmington, they're going to be looking to try to regroup here. I mean, you get it close within the first half of the game. You're keeping it 0-0, 1-1, and then immediately just turn the tides. You start kind of letting off that gas pedal a little bit and just let Greensboro go at you over and over again. Let them capitalize on what they love to do, which is, again, those demos and passing plays. We see the assists come through. Not as much as this game with Nutella taking it solo, but still, they just create so much for each other that it works such in cohesion.
The thing for UNCW that was working was when they took a page out of UNC Greensboro's book. Say that 5 times fast, huh? But UNCW, when they got the demos, when they were present in the midfield, they were fighting for those mid boosts. That's when we saw the goal come out, when we saw that aggression. And then UNCG, you got to give credit where credit is due. They were able to control that aggression, stay a little bit further back, keep the presence, but allow mistakes to come out from UNCW, avoid the bump, avoid the demo, and it led to some great success. And then again, when you're down with 12 seconds left and you're down a goal, you're going to send the house, and UNCG is able to capitalize on that aggression. Atella has a great, powerful shot, gets it back behind the last back defender, and seals the game for Greensboro. I think unless UNCW is able to keep their own aggression up, this might be a sweep for the Spartans.
Yeah, I mean, 10 shots compared to 4 for Greensboro Wilmington. Once again, you see the aggression coming out and proving worthwhile for the Spartans. As we see the Seahawks just, they're trying their hardest to get onto that blue half, and they're doing a great job at keeping at bay on their own half and not like panicking too much. But, oh, great save from Reticle there. I was about to say it almost cast or cursed it a little bit, but, I mean, the defense, like I said, it's stout and it's showing. Reticle a diving save on that goal line. They have been so good at being able to stop so many shots whenever it looks like it's a threat that's an easy goal for the Spartans. But they have to get the offense going and make the Spartans more awkward, because right now Greensboro is still keeping that press on, even with all the pressure that Wilmington is trying to put right back onto the other half.
Defense is impressive, but offense is what wins you the game. It doesn't matter how many saves or shots you got. All that matters is the big number at the top of the scoreboard. And as of right now, the Spartans are trying to add another great flick from Fatu as it pops up to Steve. But look at that midfield presence come out from Flaky. Reticle trying to get over 2 and does, but Fatu able to get to that ball. Sluggish with his own midfield presence. Tentella popping this up. This could be awkward. Reticle looking for a shot. Gets it, but it's a little bit high. One Greensboro defender missed, but Flaky does well to bail out his team. Missed boost grab. This could be UNCW's chance. Low boost for the side of UNCG, but Fatu does well, beating 2 defenders with his full tank of boost, trying to get over the third. Sluggish elects to pop this one back into the corner, and now the pressure is on. Sluggish able to pop this one out and away. Flaky trying to take this one up the wall and do it himself, but great presence there from Steve. The aggression from UNCW is here, and that is why we remain scoreless a minute and a half into game number 3.
We've seen this the past 2 games, and it's just a repeat as we see 0-0 score line until someone's finally able to break the ice within the 2-3 minutes mark. As we see that mark coming up very soon here, so maybe we'll see something go through from one side or the other, whether it's Greensboro or Wilmington. As the pass going down, Nutella to Reticle. Maybe not what the Spartans want to see, but a great save from Flaky's going to keep that out. Either way, Wilmington still able to keep the press on. Going over, Nutella has to make the diamond save off the corner, and he does. Fatu gets the pinch out, but still in the half of Greensboro. All of them low boost, trying to get the bang out, but just gives it right back to Wilmington. They're not keeping control of the ball whatsoever. They're just making panic touches, trying to clear it out. And in some situations, that's what you need. But right now, it's just giving every opportunity right back into the hands of Wilmington. Greensboro finally able to get out of their own half and try to put a shot on to create some pressure. But Reticle once again playing that out to the corner. Steve trying to get the dive. Nutella keeping it in quick, trying to get another off the backboard. Sluggish is awkward, leaves for Reticle. Reticle once again trying to advance the counter-attack play as Flaky's awkward on the back end. And again, the 50 coming out, the shot going through, but a save on the back line once again. The defense is holding strong for both sides. Which one's going to break through first, Greensboro or Wilmington?
I think your answer is going to be the team that gets more creative. One of the things that led UNCG to with early success in the first two games was their creativity on offense. They were passing to one another. I called for Nutella and Fatu to pass more a little bit, but Flaky and Fatu were doing a great job, and we haven't seen that right now. We're just seeing shot after shot on target, but they're not threatening shots. They're shots that are easily saved away just like that. This could be the pass, Fatu to Nutella, but it goes bar out off the corner. A beautiful shot if it was a centimeter either below or to the side. Wow. The crossbar, the fourth man for UNCW coming out and bailing them out. And that's what they could keep, or what could keep them in this series. Sluggish trying to take this off the ceiling, trying to pop it back down. Flaky goes under him, tries to stay on this ball over another. This could be big. Flaky trying to do it himself, tries to go under, but Reticle has that one read. We need a little infield pass, and I think whichever team does that, Demo's the last man, is going to be the team that comes out on top in this game.
I was about to say, Greensboro hasn't had as much aggression as the past two games. The demos I've not seen as much as Reticle having an opportunity there as all three defenders for Greensboro having to dive at that one to make the stop. Flaky gets a 50 out and it's going right to Fatu, but he has no boost. That's still in the hands of Wilmington. This is a very dangerous spot. Low boost all on the back end. Again, a backboard save, having to dive into it, and all three players still in a jumbled area right now trying to put the places in the blocks in place, I should say, looking like a big confused Jenga piece right now. So it's still in the hands of Wilmington again, trying to throw it back in, but they just give it the ball right back up. 30 seconds remaining. This game still at 0-0. We might see the first overtime of the day on the B stream unless Fatu can put it through. It's a wide open net. No one falling for Greensboro. And once again, just being bailed out by the miscommunications. Wilmington trying to take it quick with only 10 seconds remaining. Flaky plays it down to Steve. Steve tries to get the pass back quick, doesn't have the boost. Now here comes Greensboro going quick, but again, Reticle getting the stop. 0 seconds remaining. Ball has to stay up or we have our first overtime, and there we go. Greensboro, Wilmington, game 3. Wilmington will not be denied of this series just yet.
I think this is going to be the game that breaks the ice or breaks the back. I think the ice that Wilmington has faced so far could be broken if they are able to get a quick win here. But the longer this series goes on, I think the better, or this game goes on, excuse me, I think the better that Greensboro could be. Their spacing has just looked so much better on offense, and eventually defense breaks down like that. Steve, low boost on the back line. Nutella gets a free shot after that connection I called for. Fatu puts this one up. Nutella is there, puts it under the challenging player and over the last back off the post. What a game from UNCG. Another sweep for the Greensboro squad.
Yeah, I mean, we called it. The play that needed to happen in order to win was a bump play. They needed to get aggressive on that back line, and exactly what we saw. Fatu ends up, instead of going for that double tap, being unselfish and going for that bump instead. That made the third man awkward to allow the open net to come through. This is the type of plays that we're used to seeing teams like Greensboro make, and a lot of these other teams can make as well. But it's in the moment if you're able to be that team that's able to make those sacrifices. I'm not trying to be the showboaty player of like trying to score all the goals. It's who is going to open up and be more of that team player to enable your other teammates. That's going to help you win this tournament. Because right now we're seeing what Charlotte winning the past 3. They're looking to come back for a 4th, but they just got upset by Winthrop, like we said last time. And right now they're playing against South Carolina. I believe that's in game 4 right now, South Carolina up. Charlotte is a team that has always been top tier, and they went 7-0 in group stages. But right now, all these teams are coming out with a vengeance. They're adjusting to how every other team is playing. And right now, the team play is what matters the most. And Greensboro is one of those teams that I still think is going to be a team that can make it up there to the finals with how good they are when they're on point.
I think the duo between Fatu and Nutella is what's going to be the deal maker or breaker for that Greensboro squad. I think if UNCW just continues to be aggressive and tries to find one another in the midfield, looks for those quick passes, I think that's the next and only key that they need to get into that series. They were trying to be aggressive for one another, but there weren't any passes that were direct to other teammates. And if they do that, I think they should do well for the remainder of this tournament. I think that is it for us right now. We have the next series. I'm not sure which teams they're between, but it will be a heater. It will be a banger regardless. It will be UNC Asheville against the NC State Wolfpack. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Welcome back to the Fall 2025 C3 LAN, and we are excited to bring you the next matchup here on the B Stream. We've got NC State here on the NC State channel, by the way, facing off with UNC Asheville again. And these are two teams that are trying to prove themselves, able to make it to LAN, but their next step in the process is to really prove themselves against one of these teams. So, again, this will be a close one that we'll see here and see which team can really manage to get through this matchup.
Yeah, I know, Barely, we casted Asheville versus UNC Greensboro at the start of the day, and you've been kind of switching back and forth between streams, but I've kept my butt plopped here, whether it's between seats here on the B stream, and been able to witness all that's happened for UNCG, Asheville, and for NC State. And right now, NC State ended up getting swept by Greensboro. Asheville ended up getting swept by Greensboro. And NC State was still able to keep it somewhat close, so I'm looking for them here to kind of get their revenge, trying to go up, especially after losing to Wilmington first matchup of the day, 3-1, which is kind of surprising for them. So we'll see if NC State can bring it back here, but right now they got to try to get it going as we see Asheville trying to start off quick. The pass is going through, and just right like that, they take the lead.
Yeah, that is quick. 1-2 for NC State here. Yeah, as Rocket, again, just gets that quick touch, and it's in the place where the defense can't get to it off that back wall. It's just a good recognition for Rocket. Very smart individual. Stay plugged in Coca-Cola All-Star last year, and certainly you can see that manifest itself on the pitch as he's got all the right decision-making, but there you go. Maple will be credited with that one. 2-0 lead now, so NC State pretty hot coming off that loss.
Yeah, and I just realized I mixed up Wilmington and State. It was actually Wilmington that took that loss against Greensboro. NC State's next. But NC State, I mean, what can you say about them? They are looking hot. I mean, 30 seconds in, and they're already up by 2 goals. Asheville team that's looking to fight back after those losses, and right now they're looking to try to come back after another, because right now they're just taking goal after goal, and then a third goal from NC State, and they are just berating shot after shot.
Call it a homeland advantage, I guess. It seems like it at this point in time, and they're finding the exact right spots too, right in between this defense of UNC Asheville, who feel a little bit lost here in the early stages. Luckily for them, this is just game 1, so you can kind of settle in. You still have 4:20 on the clock in game 1 as well, so you have an opportunity to really get yourself settled, not just for the rest of the series, but in this game. But they have a lot of work to do because right now it looks like they're scrambling to try to find themselves seated here.
I mean, Asheville right now finally able to get one back, as we see there, a nice little play coming out on the solo from Kuzo. But I was about to say, it looks like they're just taking a little bit too slow. They're allowing NC State to take that press advantage right onto their half, but finally able to get it out with that solo play and able to take it well. I mean, you had one go flying right by you, and the last was awkward trying to go for a boost in the corner. That's exactly how Asheville need to play. They need to realize these mistakes that's going on from NC State and this Wolfpack squad that will eventually lead to these openings, as we see right there. Mac almost getting another. But for right now, the Bulldogs have to keep their aggression going and keep it going quickly, or else this Wolfpack attack will just happen to you so quickly.
The pack attack, very well known for it too. And UNC Asheville's been, I've been listening to their comms over there on the far end, actually from where we're stationed here at NC State's lab. A beautiful one, by the way, and big shout out to everybody here at NC State and staff members for being here. But look at this carry. Sunday driver, if you're an Asheville fan, able to fight that one off, but they're looking to really settle down. A lot of times they feel antsy. They're really jumping in on the play and feeling unorganized. It's been manifesting here, but it's looked a lot better in the last minute or so.
And Asheville, that's exactly what they're looking for, but that defense got to hold strong as a shot going on for the Wolfpack and not able to go through. The Bulldogs, the Dogs holding strong, trying to get that 3-goal lead down to 0. And right back in their favor as we see Kuzo again trying to go for that solo play, trying to take it through but can't get it. Sunday driver a little bit too upfield, and that might be a goal, but Mac Monster able to get back even on 0 boost. Ventus going high to the skies, now going for the flip reset down low, but just a little bit too slow as Rocket trying to follow up as the team plays not really working in cohesion just yet unless that dunk goes through. And an open nets for NC State as NC State having to make the back line read. Once again, Asheville being able to mount this pressure slowly but surely after a slow start in the beginning, but finally working their way up and getting that confidence up that we can see from them, but they got to stay consistent with it.
Yeah, exactly. Consistency is everything. You got to be able to play the entirety of the 5 minutes of every single game. And Rocket right now has been trying to just kind of keep them at bay, but they've been having to work a little bit harder to get past this midfield. The presence isn't as heavy as it had been for NC State, and that's why you see them retreating right now. Boost out of the tanks. Maple was able to gather some and get there in time because that looked dangerous, but they're still not out of harm's way quite yet. Kuzo going for the far side flipper. He said, but couldn't quite utilize it the way that he wanted to pick that far side post.
Kuzo trying to take as many solo plays as he can, and I mean, hey, it worked out for the first goal. They're gonna try to go back to the bread and butter, but right now it just hasn't worked out, as it looks like the defense from State has adjusted a little bit, but it might be a little bit of a woe as an own goal almost goes in, and able to get back is Maple, who then tries to take the counterattack. Sunday Driver, the last one back. This sounds kind of like a NASCAR race with the way I'm saying Sunday Driver, with a interesting name because I think it was switched beforehand. But either way, it's still up in the air. It looks like NC State going for the flip reset double. Maple trying to get it, but the leaves are not falling just yet, even though we are in autumn, as the Maple will not be able to score that one home.
Yeah, and Kozo now on this too, trying to pressure them and keep them from being able to get to the spots that we know that they can get to. Ventus, right now, great passing play, but two in net, they'll still put it above the crossbar and generate an opportunity, but it'll be kept alive here by Sunday Driver. This one all the way up to the ceiling. Ventus is going to try to tap it down for a teammate, but Matt couldn't quite get enough on it here, and Kuzo will now be shadowing, at least trying to chase down Maple, it felt like. Got the demo at the end of the day, as things get a little bit scrappy here. Time starting to move a little bit faster here for UNCA, as this one will go up high. Sunday Driver back out. Rocket's the last one back. No boost in the tank and demoed as well. And suddenly, UNCA back within one.
NC State, just again a misread from their second man. Third just playing way too advanced forward. And that's just going to be a wide open net to capitalize on with the last man dead off that little counterattack going. So NC State falling apart slowly but surely. We saw them take that big lead within the first 45 seconds of the game. And almost after 5 minutes of play, throwing that away slowly but surely. And so they still got that 1-goal lead to hold on to for another 30 seconds. Or else this could be the end of game one, as we see demos coming out. NC State trying to grow that lead a little bit more to secure the game one win. Maple takes the pop shot, but not able to get it on. So Kuzo taking it off the wall, not able to get the reach. So it was low boost of 50 on the goal line. And what a save from Sunday Driver to block that one out right into Mac Monster. But once again, it's still in an awkward spot. Got to go the entire distance of the field if you want to win this game. 0 seconds, ball has to stay in the air. Sunday Driver going in the air. Mac on his right. Mac goes for the pinch with Kuzo. Kuzo can't keep it up, and that will be an NC State W for game number one.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like it was that safe at the tail end of that one. That was certainly pressured, and a great job to keep that ball live and look to get it there. But unfortunately, they tripped over one another in that moment that you really needed to be organized once again. But NC State just hanging on by a thread. They established a lead hard. They looked extremely strong early, but UNC Asheville made those adjustments that you like to see, and I really wanted to see that out of this three. Kuzo was very dynamic on the offensive side of the ball, and if he can continue that from the second half of that game one into game number two, that's how UNC Asheville has a chance. Otherwise, it might be a little bit of a runaway, but that was a lot closer than it seemed like in the first minute that we saw.
Yeah, and something, I'm a big stats guy. I love looking at the stats, and something I'll point out, 17 shots for NC State.
Oh my goodness.
17 compared to only 5 from Asheville, yet it's only a 1-goal game. That tells you, we saw in the UNCG series that Asheville has a strong defense that can hold on, but we talked about how you can have a strong defense, and they say defense wins championships, but if you aren't able to put more shots in net than the opposing team, then defense doesn't matter at all. It all comes down to the offense at that point. So they got to be able to balance out that offense and defense if they want to come back and win this series. Even though they're only down by 1, that one can feel like a tremendous hump to overcome unless you're able to stay confident in yourself and your teammates in order to work together to get over that hump themselves.
Yeah, exactly. If you want offense to be your best defense, then you need to be able to create and generate chances constantly that are grade A, and they put on a ton of shots and try to keep them at bay, but NC State did enough damage at the very beginning of this game. So I think it's obviously it's always important to get a good start, get the first goal, but I really do think that it will matter here in this game as far as who gets that early start to see which way the momentum's going to swing, and it'll go for Rocket and NC State.
Just once again, we saw it last game. The Wolfpack just go so quick off the kickoff, and that's going to be a free goal off the 1-2 from Maple to Rocket, going from the trees and the leaves falling down to the skies with a Rocket blasting through the goal. That's going to be a 1-0 lead for NC State right off rip, and they're going to be looking for a kickoff goal like last one, as it is currently getting loud in the esports labo with something going on the A stream. But right now we are worrying about this matchup between the Wolfpack and the Bulldogs. That is still a close matchup with a goal almost rolling in for the Wolfpack, but a great save on the back line and an own goal going through. As I say that, Asheville just not communicating well enough, in a overcommit, it seems like, comes out just right on the goal line.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because all the work that you were doing, right, to be able to bail yourself out, which it wasn't a great, sequence for them defensively to start off with, but, they were starting to get things together, piece it together, a bit of panic sets in, and then you see the results of that, which is not where you want to be. Another situation where they started late in a game. This is just like game one where, man, what if that first minute was strong? And so that's really lingering in its head right now with these players, and see if they can't more settle in than anything else. NC State, another big lead here, and it's going to give away possession, though. The dry and boost as well, as Maple will try to go back up for it. After this flip reset, drops it down for Ventus, but it'll go all the way back to midfield, and unfortunately, Rocket, he backflipped here in that situation, so he wasn't able to continue pressure.
NC State, they got to be looking to continue this pressure forward, and like you're talking about with the reminiscence of game one where they start out up 2-0 in less than 30 seconds.
Yep.
They got to make sure that they keep that pressure on if they want to win this, or else it will be a same as last game where they start falling off because they're playing too conservative. They're trying to stay back and wait for something to come to them, but if they're not creating things themselves, then it'll never come. They got to force it themselves, just like that right there. A great play from Ventus off the backboard to Maple in the middle, and that 1-2 play after beating the third man out just so quickly. That's the plays that they need if they want to continue to be this great team that is going to progress and be one of those top seeds going into the playoffs tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you there. I mean, that's that pace and energy that you need to be able to beat SJT to a ball defensively, or AUG to a ball defensively against USC, for example. And, ooh, almost got the answer, was UNCA. Want to see them come to life, but if NC State is playing the way they're playing, both defensively, but like we saw in that quick play that I was mentioning, that's going to be a tough one to handle for sure. I mean, this team is starting quick. It's what Rocket said he wanted to see after I interviewed him in week 4. We continue to see a little bit of that. That being said, UNC Asheville, they're never really out of a game here in the series right now.
Yeah, Mac Monster with a monster shot in the left slot corner, and Maple not able to reach that one. That's just going to be the goal that they need to get themselves back in. Again, it's exactly like last game. Go up 3-0, and then now it's 3-1. Asheville might take another minute or two, maybe get a second goal to get back in it. But Asheville, they're looking to get that third goal in order to tie it. They go down 3, but it doesn't matter. You still have so much time to be able to recoup yourself and your teammates. But you have to get it going quickly, because right now NC State's still trying to keep that press on, trying to keep it in that blue half to where you can't make that return to sender. You can't throw it back onto their half. And a dunk almost coming through. The Wolfpack almost get another, but it's going to be a diving save off the back wall. And once again, NC State keeping so much pressure, and Maple slotting that one top right, and they go right back up by 3.
Yeah, they're finding these 1-2-3 plays. That one a backwards flip, and then Ventus was on his way back. So it looked like they threw it in reverse for a solid 5-6 seconds there, as every player able to get a touch, and you don't have to go crazy sometimes. Obviously, that one's just a little bit of an awkward looking play, but still that 1-2-3 that you look for. So it's not really about how it looks, but more so how it functions. And for NC State, they're functioning quite well.
Yeah, barely. I was kind of disappointed. I thought you were going to do something. When you said 5-6, I thought you were about to do the 6-7 in the third. I thought you were going to say that. I was so ready for it. But with how this game's going, we might see 6 or 7 goals, whether you want to control the beam or not, with how NC State, they're keeping that aggression on. And they're looking to get another, as the pass out from Maple going to Ventus, not able to get that read in Asheville. Once again, they're looking to go for the solo play. Kuzo going for that double, not able to get the angle. And Kuzo has been the main man for Asheville when it comes to generating the offense, getting that ball downfield, whether it be for a pass or a solo play like we've seen from him. But right now, Sunday Driver and Mac, they've been really good on defense. But the offense, again, is still slow. They got to get it going, and we might see it here, but Mac just playing too close to the plate. That second man has to be more disciplined if they want to get these goals. They've just been so out of position to where all these opportunities have just gone awry.
Yeah, you give them that much space, and like you have to be able to realize and feel when you go. And so, if NC State's going to get to it first, they're going to find a way to then break through. And Mac Monster to the ceiling here in this time, still trying to generate, but NC State's good for it here. Ventus going to pop it up. It'll be Maple off the back wall, trying to find it as well, but Mac able to get there in time. Sunday Driver now has a lead blocker out in front, got Kuzo, but he wasn't able to get the bump. Now the follow-up shot, another big save. What a defensive sequence by NC State.
I mean, just insane plays from State. They're holding on, and they're holding on well as another offensive stand is about to come out, but a bang downfield is going to send it right back into the half for Asheville to take advantage. But right now it's still awkward as low boost on the Bulldogs half is going to force them to retreat just for now, as finally Sunday Driver, even with low boost, deciding to stay in this play. It might be a counterattack for Wolfpack, but again, just the diving saves from Kuzo keeping that out. Only 35 seconds remaining. They got to get some offense going here if they even want to have a chance at this game, because you do not get a goal here and do not take this game.
Wow.
You are now on sweep watch, if not reverse sweep watch, depending on how you want to look at it. But what I'm more worried about for this team, whether you go down 0-2 or not, is how are you going to be mentally going into that? Because they went down 0-2 against UNC Greensboro and came back, and there we go. We see a goal from them with only 13 seconds remaining. That might be it. But they need to be able to keep themselves in that spacing where this might help them get a little bit of boost going to next game, but they still got to stay mentally strong altogether.
Yeah, you said the word in game number 1, consistency. You literally called it out in game 1. That was great foreshadowing as far as being able to predict the outcomes of these games. I think it's a little bit too late once again, and for UNC Asheville, that will make it a 2-0 here in this series, so they're going to have to play from behind in the series, but we haven't, we've been playing witness to a reverse sweep already today. Now, whether or not that's going to manifest will be up to NC State at the end of the day. I mean, their defense looked absolutely outstanding. There were some sequences where UNC Asheville, it was like, surely they're going to score on this time around. Weren't able to do it because of how NC State was able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, 7 saves on the half of State, and that's something we usually see from Asheville on the other side. Well, Asheville only had 3 saves, but they had 12 shots compared to NC State, who only had 8. So Asheville, a lot of more pressure like you were talking about, but not able to capitalize on it. I mean, you can have all the pressure in the world, but if that ball does not hit that back of the net, then it does not matter. NC State doing a great job of holding down their line and being able to take those counterattacks to open the space more and just send it right through, where the Bulldogs just not able to recoup themselves in order to gather that information and gather that spacing to send downfield and get those bumps, which we see little to no bumps coming from Asheville, which might be their issue. They might need to get more demos in order to get through this NC State squad, who's just basically sitting in their third on that goal line waiting for the shot to come through and just throwing a little pop out, and it's free save every single time.
Yeah, they do a great job as far as organizing who goes next, and you see it. Like Rocket will swing across, but then if you take another shot, Ventus is right behind you as well. They do a really good job of supporting one another in that way defensively and been able to really hold them into a situation where they weren't able to do it. So, we continue to check out exactly how they're able to operate there defensively to transition into the offensive side of the ball too, where they've also been pretty dynamic. The good news for UNC Asheville, they have been able to really manage to get back into things and at least give them a challenge at the end of the day. They did change it so that that way they went to switch it up and then try to put it on as many shots, because they weren't as outshot as they were before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to see Asheville get a lot more aggressive. Like you said, they have to stay aggressive if they want to win this series, and right now they have just been so slow, and they especially cannot let the first minute of the game get to them, because so far we haven't seen a goal yet, which is I would say an improvement from the last 2 games, but they have to keep it that way, and they need to get one of their own, if anything, to throw the Wolfpack off. They gotta make this a little bit more awkward for them, because right now they're just making themselves at home. Like, literally, they're playing at home, but they're making themselves feel at home as well with how much space they're given. Asheville needs to make them uncomfortable, to say, hey, I know I'm on your turf, but right now we're bringing it right to you. I know we're the away team, we might be the underdogs, but these Bulldogs can bark, and they're going to hit heavy.
So far, you're absolutely right. So far in this first minute, Asheville's looked a lot better because they have started these games slow. Right now, they've been actually more offensive possession time than we've seen from NC State, which is kind of surprising to say here, given the recent history. But will it matter? That shot's taken. It's going to be denied. Maple's right back to it, but Kuzo going to be able to deny this as well. Kuzo now beat to it by Ventus. He's looking for Rocket. All the way across, does find it, but the shot, well, that's not going to challenge Mac Monster. He plays it from a backwards position here as Maple jumps in from midfield, a little bit unorganized until Kuzo steps up. Gets a demo as well. It should be free shot, and it is. UNC Asheville finally get the first goal.
Asheville finally taking a lead in this series. A great play. Ventus getting the awkward touch, and just Kuzo taking advantage, staying that aggressor as the first man. Something that you need if you want to win this game. That first man staying in the play, and exactly what they did. They read that, being able to realize Ventus is awkward here. Even though he's full boost, he's still going to have a bad touch. touch. I'm just going to play for it and have a free shot on target. And right now, NC State almost getting one right back as Rocket sends that one right off the post, and the fourth man saves the day for NC State as we hear in the background again, the A-team stream getting loud, and right now NC State getting loud right back as another goal goes through as the Rocket sends another one home.
Bayern Rocket, and it all set up by Ventus with that flip reset. Kuzo thought for sure, oh, I got this defended, until you saw the flip come in manifest and then realized I'm out of boost. Nothing I can do at this point. Just slowly drifting back into the net and adding it to the ball. But look up the kickoff. A rare mistake here from NC State here in this series will allow UNC Asheville to regain that lead directly back.
Kuzo just, I think it was a misflip from Maple, and he ends up bumping his teammate. So either way, neither of them could get to that, and Kuzo, all he has to do is put it on target, and it's a free goal. So a great kickoff goal from Kuzo to put them right back up 2-1. But again, they got to hold that lead. They got to stay aggressive. They cannot let off, because that is where Asheville, they slow down. They start choking out themselves rather than the Wolfpack or any other team really like put that pressure on to make them awkward. They're slowing down and it's making themselves awkward. They have to keep the gas going, because right now it looks like they're able to. We've seen the promising future ahead of the Asheville Bulldogs. We've seen that they can put themselves in these right positions. They just have to trust themselves too, and that's a lot of things I see with teams like this, that they don't have that confidence in themselves, and it shows. But the second that they score even one goal, then that confidence boosts, and it just means so much that their gameplay, it shows so well.
And I think you do have to, at the end of the day, have somebody that's vocal, a leader on a team, to be able to instill that confidence everywhere. Because I feel like Kuzo has had that confidence throughout this series, but you know, it unfortunately does no good, you know, if you can't get the rest of the team kind of rallied around you. So I'd love to see that a little bit, as far as, you know, getting them amped up, getting them into that position where they can be confident. But right now, they're still trying to hold on right now. And 2-1 lead. This one will go high. It'll waterfall down as well. Not able to get there, and Rocket will. So equalize here with 2:16 left. It seems like every time UNC Asheville tries to take a break, NC State is saying, nah, not this time.
Sunday Driver, just a misread as the third man. Such an important touch to make when you're in that situation. And so far, we've seen that a lot today. I'm telling you, Bearlight, it's the land nerves. You can make that save over and over and over again when you're in the comfort of your own home or esports live. The second you get on a LAN and you hear all the, you know, the crowd noises and everything, it's a whole different experience. And right now, all those easy saves, easy reads have become a million times harder. So they're going to be looking to lock back in, even with just one mistake that leads to another. So far, still a tie game, 2-2. Mac Monster trying to keep the pressure on for Asheville. Kuzo left last back. Ventus tries to get the 50 up. Rocket left last back. This is a pass middle. Ventus having to cut for Rocket, but now it's awkward for the Wolfpack. Kuzo tries to get the double mid, but can't. Again, the overcommits coming out for Asheville might lead to a goal from the Wolfpack. Something that we've seen from the third man on both sides is they just getting way too aggressive. They have to calm it down if either side wants to take advantage.
Yeah, it feels like you take away your options if you get that close up, because now you're just hoping that it's a 50-50 that just kind of dies there, and then you can take over. That's the only situation that would be available for you. So I'd like to see them allow your teammates to have some space, have some confidence in your teammates. It's okay to have confidence in those. Trusting your teammates is obviously a good thing, but you know, being able to jump up in the play just because you think that maybe one situation would happen, not really doing them favors. But they still have this game tied. Series not over until they NC State wins another one, and right now that one was loose. It was out in front, still stunning them into the box. As Rocket now, they commit too far forward. Almost a freebie there. Rocket's going to put that in every single time. NC State back on top.
Rocket has launched the Wolfpack from a 0-2 start, or I believe it was 0-1. Either way, they went down and they got right back up into the stars. Another one to go through as he gets a hat trick, and that's going to give them the lead with only 53 seconds remaining, as once again NC State looking to close out this series in a sweep with maybe another goal to put the nail in the coffin. But Sunday Driver gets that touch out to Mac, and we'll see Asheville trying to get the counter. But once again, the Bulldogs sparking at the door, but the door has not opened just quite yet as the pressure mounting, the bumps are coming out, and NC State is just trying to hold on. You have 30 seconds, and barely all you have to do is just park the bus.
That's right. You just have to be able to hold on here in this situation. You don't want to give anything for free. It's very simple here in this moment. And obviously it's not do or die for NC State. It is for Asheville. Start anticipating them to have great access to desperation right now. 10 seconds left here. Maple able to tap it in. NC State now gonna force Asheville to go the length of the pitch here in order to try and tie this game. Now 1 second, gotta keep it up here. Sunday Drivers able to catch it, but only temporary. Here's Maple, now going across, just as it hit the ground. Kuzo gonna keep it alive. This one's Rocket, up to the ceiling, keel go. What Bree said, just trying to put it past Mac Monster. It'll work as they trip over one another, and NC State able to close out the sweep.
And what a game and a series that was indeed. I mean, NC State and Asheville, I mean, you saw in games 1 and 2, NC State strong start at the beginning and then kind of let off the gas, and then Asheville took advantage. But either way, it was too late, for them to kind of come back. And then in game 3, Asheville finally get that start that they needed. They get that lead. And then they do the same thing NC State was doing. They take a strong lead, and then they start backing off, starting getting less aggressive than their opponents, which is the Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack start attacking them hard, biting at them, scratching, whatever they can do to win. And just Rocket specifically being able to play that first-man role so well and get a hat trick in order to win that game 3-2 and come back within the last minute to get that goal to win the game is just a impressive win for them.
Yeah, the Rocket Ventus 1-2 was absolutely special here in this one for sure. And they were like sharks. They smelled blood in the water. If you're going to give them an opportunity, they will be able to take advantage of it. And that comfort level that you mentioned throughout those games is absolutely accurate. Being able to say these are our PCs. Like I live and die here in this lab, and it definitely shows. They felt that comfort level, and now they can have a little bit of confidence, knowing that even if they go up against better teams, they'll still have that home field advantage. They'll still be able to manage to hang here and do well. Well, we'd like to give a huge thank you as well for our presenting sponsor at Visit Raleigh. They are fantastic to work with, number one. Number two, a very essential part of what we're doing here at the C3 LAN here for the Fall 2025 Championships. They've been outstanding as well, being able to help us, partner with NC State University as well to host this event in the first place. So if you're planning to have a gig of your own here, again, we always encourage Raleigh. It's a great place. I love some hockey. I mentioned a little bit earlier, you got the Hurricanes here in Raleigh. So just a fantastic city. So make sure that you have that. And find them on social media, by the way, and at their website at visitraleigh.com. Again, that's visitraleigh.com here.
Yeah, and a big shout out as well to NC State hosting this event. It's been a pleasure to be able to help out with this event. I'm glad I'm able to come here and see the amazing esports facility they have in their library, which, by the way, their library is huge. The campus is beautiful. It is as itself. And like you said, with the Raleigh itself, I mean, so much to do with. I know that they're actually adding a professional lacrosse team as well here very soon.
Awesome. That's
so
awesome.
It's a lot to do here. And speaking of, we got matches to get back to soon where we'll have, I believe it is Clemson versus Charlotte on the next stream. And speaking of Clemson, Winthrop ended up sweeping Charlotte, which is the previous three winners. And now Clemson looks like they're about to sweep Winthrop themselves. So this is a huge upset in my book to say if Clemson upsets, like sweeps Winthrop and Winthrop sweeps Charlotte. That just tells me this LAN is about to be 10 times more exciting the next couple hours and tomorrow as well.
Any given Sunday, and I guess Saturday as well. It's been crazy here this weekend, and so that means that you should park it right here anyways. Get 2 tabs open as well. Go to the main channel, C3 Esports League on Twitch in addition to that. So we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching C3 Fall 2025 LAN. back here at C3 LAN Fall 2025 edition. We've got Rocket back with me. I got to talk to you a little bit earlier. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Again, when I talked to you a few weeks back, you're very hopeful about the LAN, really looking to boost things here and improve things as well to really get some momentum going. How are you feeling as far as the first couple of matches?
Obviously our first series against UNCW didn't go our way, but the first like 2 or 3 games we were trying something different that our coach set us up with, and it didn't work out, so we switched um play styles, and like it worked a lot better. Uh, Coming on like the end of the UNCW series, and this series obviously did the same thing. So that worked really well. So I'm very hopeful still
Yeah,
of how
no,
we'll do.
no doubt about it. And we were talking about how, at the end of the day, it might be a little bit more comfortable to be here in your homeland versus others. Has that been an advantage? And if so, how much would you say has actually helped you against other teams?
I would say it's not much of an advantage. I've been here like to play on this like yesterday was my first time. I've been here to like just look around and explore, but it's just so far away from like my dorm that I don't really come here to play often. It's super nice though. It is, but I don't think there's not that much of a home field advantage other than like we sleep in our own beds in our dorms and we don't have to drive far.
That makes sense to me. So you're saying that you made a little bit of a switch here at LAN. Do you keep that same mentality? What makes you successful in Sunday in your eyes?
And Sunday, I definitely would prefer to have like a good matchup. I don't know what that'd look like, but Charlotte's struggling a little bit, but I won't say much. I don't know, just keeping that play style aggressive is gonna help us through Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, getting well rested. Knockout and one loss is definitely unfortunate
Yeah.
because like you might have like one unlucky series. That happened to us against like Virginia Tech. We had like an unlucky own goal or whatever. Um, but I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be fun.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the things that you maybe have learned here without giving away too much about your strategy, about your team, and moving forward, maybe even into next semester by just competing here at LAN?
It's really just talking to each other, like telling each other what we need to do different in between games, during games. Like it doesn't really matter. It's just sometimes there's like a disconnect, and um, we expect it to fix without saying anything. And if we say something, then they know what to do, and then we can get it fixed.
No doubt about it. Well, good luck to you in the rest of the LAN. If I get to talk to you again, it's a good sign. That means you're still with things
Mhm.
as well on Sunday. So, again,
Yeah.
congratulations on that big win. We'll see you.
Thank you. See you.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the B stream here for the Carolina Collegiate Clash Fall LAN here at NC State on the NC State Esports Twitch channel. Maybe for some of you, some familiar faces here on the Esports at NC State stream. I am Yogurt or James, joined by my good friend Colson, captain, or excuse me, rather, coach, coach of the NC State team, as you can tell by his fancy polo shirt.
Oh yeah, come on.
Shout out to Rocket's mom for making some really
Really?
nice merch for the whole team. We're gonna see about onboarding her as one of our graphic people maybe. But yeah, so we got a heater here on the B stream. This is one of the top top four placement matches. Is UNC Charlotte versus Clemson. What are we expecting here, Colson?
Man, that is a fantastic question. And the answer that I can give you is I don't know.
Yeah,
So I came in today thinking that Charlotte was going to go at least 2-1, and right now they're 0-2.
yeah,
That's got to fuel some bit of fire, right? I think they came in, kind of felt like we've got this. We were the number 1 seed from the season. All week, all 7 weeks, they played the best.
yeah,
Now they came in here. Winthrop has beat them, and South Carolina has beat them. Winthrop swept them. South Carolina did in Game 5, got the
Yeah.
win, and it was a 7-3. It was a dominant game, number 5. So I imagine there is some fuel in the fire for that team right now, wanting to play hard. Clemson just came off a sweep of Winthrop, so
I mean, yeah,
Clemson
if
swept the team that swept.
if we're doing,
Charlotte.
transitive property says that this should be a 6-0 for for Clemson. Not entirely sure how that would work, but
Brazil after Brazil after Brazil.
yeah. But yeah, I believe that this is Charlotte's last match of these placement games.
It is.
And yeah, I mean, if they drop here, they'll go down 0-3 and be 4th place, which I don't think anyone would have expected
Insane.
coming in. So they want to, even though obviously it's just for seeding in the tournament bracket tomorrow, but still, I mean, I'm sure the Charlotte guys don't want people disrespecting their name like that,
Exactly.
thinking that, now they're just a third, fourth team. Like I would imagine this is lighting a fire for them, that they really want to make sure that they're going to go on a deep run tomorrow. But yeah, I think we're getting the players into the lobby here. But yeah, definitely Clemson. That game against Winthrop was really impressive. I was here on the B stream watching the NC State victory. Obviously, go Pack. But yeah, this Clemson team has been really good. The solid core of Meso, Beans, and Enzo. And actually, here we go. We're bringing us into the game here. 0-0 game 1, UNC Charlotte versus Clemson. And here we go. Kicking it off is Bala coming up strong off the top rope, looking for a shot. Beans ready to clear it out, but Lazy able to stay up with it. Enzo looking for a little bit of a clear first possession here of the game for the Clemson Tigers, and actually immediate clear, very fast shot out from Lazy, and a little bit of back and forth pressure here. Beans looking for maybe a double off the wall, but Bala gets possession, gets the second hit, looks for the third, can't quite get it. Meso drops it over him. Just a bit of a ping pong back and forth so far between these two teams. A little bit of pressure here from Clemson, not too much boost on their side though, so looks like probably going to be a clear out for Charlotte.
A lot of ping pong, like you said. I expect to see a lot of that in this game, number 1. Charlotte, their play style, I'm expecting a lot of high flying, a lot of technical mechanics, just like that ball was going for an early shot. But Clemson gets a quick counterattack and starts out 1-0. That goes right into what I wanted to say about this Clemson squad. They are playing for one another. Look how Massau creeps upfield. Enzo trusts he's going to be there, launches that one up, and a quick counter leads to a quick lead 1 minute into game number 1.
I mean, yeah, way to set the tempo there is Clemson. I mean, UNC Charlotte already starting off on the back foot once again. This is, again, to put the stakes into play, this would be them dropping down to that 4th seed if they drop this, which would definitely defy a lot of expectations. So big things needed out of Charlotte. Nice little redirect here from Bala. Looking for the second touch. Not going to be quite able to get it. Beans going out for the save, but Lazy actually with a shot on, and it's going to be good. Charlotte, not 12 seconds later of regulation time, tie it back up at 1-1 here in game 1.
Beautiful placement from Lazy, and that's what you got to be careful as the Clemson squad. Charlotte also knows how to play as a team, and I think that's what has been leading them to have such issues so far in these few games that they have played. I think that individually, these players on Charlotte are better than the players on Clemson. But once they show these mechanics and play as a team, they are formidable and tough to beat. Balla just trying to be a pest and is able to get a touch on the ball and that midfield boost and go again. With a little bit of miscommunication, Lacey's able to get back, but Balla is just trying to outpace the entire lobby, get those mechs warmed up as we go into 2 minutes of game number 1. Strong clear out over, and Knight able to touch it again. Balla trying to do it himself, trying to get a flick off this backboard, but Enzo does great, clearing this back out, keeping the pressure off of the Clemson defense.
Yeah, this is, again, still a bit of a back-and-forth slugfest. Lots of nice shots, but Knight finds an open net. Maybe a gap in the rotation there for Clemson, and Knight just takes advantage of it. And, I mean, yeah, gets past Beans as that first defender, and just no chance to save that one. UNC Charlotte take their first lead here of the series, not even halfway into game 1. This is really good for them to try to set the tempo. They're actually going for a kickoff strat here. Pass from Lazy to Knight. Drop it down. Bouncing up. Upper crossbar, and it's in. UNC Charlotte showing why they were the favorites coming into this tournament, and they are not disappointing in this series so far.
Crazy to think that Clemson, who swept Winthrop, who swept UNC Charlotte, could potentially be swept by Clemson. That is insane.
Yeah.
Lazy taking it back to himself on the back wall. Masso sending it early. Knight gets dunked out by Enzo, but no one there for the follow-up. Knight elected to keep this one close. Great play, popping it over Enzo, trying to confuse the defense a little bit, trying to get them stacked on top of one another. But great defense so far. Balla taking it off the ceiling. Breezy over to Lazy. Lazy trying to make something happen, but Massa with a great touch back into the corner, buying even more time for this Clemson defense.
Yeah, and this is just, Clemson kind of has been put on the back foot here, just playing defense, and 2 minutes left to play still, so there's certainly time to make something happen, but it definitely is actually a really nice demo there from Enzo onto the back line. No one was up. Knight barely gets it with no boost. Can Beans get it past? No, he can't. Actually, so just as I'm saying, Clemson has been on the back foot. They actually get some offensive pressure here, but here comes Balla with UNC Charlotte. A really nice redirect to keep possession there, but Beans with a nice clear. Actually, looked like there might have been an open net here, but Enzo cuts off the pass, and a demo means actually Knight is able to stop the bleeding a little bit. And yeah, if this back and forth keeps up for the next 1 minute 30, Charlotte is coming out on top, would be able to take this game 1. So really, Clemson, they got to start making some plays. They got to try to make something happen here, or else they will drop this game 1 with only 1:15 left.
Massa over two, but Balla does well to get a long booming clear into the Clemson half. Balla has been nothing short of a pest. Lazy with a quick shot.
Oh!
Bar down. Beautiful placement. Knight to Lazy. Balla causing panic on that back line, and it leads to a goal for Charlotte. Up now 4-1 in game number 1.
Yeah, that is Lazy and UNC Charlotte. Once again, they're showing why they have not lost a map so far prior to today in the C3 Esports League. And yeah, maybe this is just them finding their footing. They had to travel for the LAN. Maybe didn't get the best sleep last night, had to get used to the setups and everything. So definitely could have been another potential chance. But yeah, with a 4-1 scoreline with only 45 seconds left to go, odds are very in Charlotte's favor to take this unless Clemson really can pull some magic here. But with the way that the game is playing, it doesn't look like 3 rapid goals are possible, honestly, for either team. It's been a bit of a close battle, even though the scoreline is 4-1 in Charlotte's favor. I think that is representative of this game. Charlotte has had pressure on the ball, had possession just that much more than Clemson, being able to find those shots, being able to find those opportunities. And yeah, with the clock ticking down to 13 seconds, I think that this is going to be game 1 going to UNC Charlotte.
What Charlotte has done in this game number 1 so much better than both teams that Clemson has faced is they're able to be patient, especially against Winthrop. Winthrop sent it.
Yeah.
They were not afraid to just go for the ball fast, and Clemson was able to take advantage of that.
Yep.
Now, in this game, Charlotte is just being a little bit more patient, a little bit more dialed back, and because of that, it has led to the success of UNC Charlotte. They're letting Clemson do whatever they want, not biting on the passes and holding that space in the midfield, cutting those passes off and harassing them on the back line. Balla in particular has been chasing the entire game and doing a fantastic job at that. It is beautiful play coming out from Charlotte, clinical play, and I think if it keeps like this, Charlotte will take this in 3.
Yeah, Charlotte had more shots in that series than Clemson, although it was pretty close, but Charlotte with more saves. Clemson just not able to stop as many of those shots. So if the shot taking is about equal, Charlotte maybe with a bit of an advantage, it seems like that is going to be their win condition coming in here. It's going to be up to Clemson to see if they can make some shift in the tempo, take more possession over this match. And yeah, I mean, we saw it in that Winthrop game. They 3-0'd Winthrop, who 3-0'd UNC Charlotte. So again, a lot of crazy things can happen at LAN, especially. And I mean, we're seeing it right here. What once would have been the expected outcome of this game one now seems actually like a bit of a shock. But yeah, here we come. Straight into game 2, UNC Charlotte up 1-0, and Charlotte is not stopping this pressure straight off the kickoff. Lazy, drop it back to Knight. Gonna go for a nice little touch there, push it in the corner. Balla, actually a really nice touch. Drop it out, but yeah, actually, it's just Charlotte. I mean, it's all Charlotte right now. These saves coming out, forcing out bad touches here for Beans. Not a lot of boost on the side for Clemson. I mean, Charlotte just, the ball has not left the orange side of the pitch here. And yeah, this is just Charlotte just knocking at the door of this Clemson defense. And eventually, you got to imagine one of these is going to get through.
Yeah, it's hard to say that they couldn't, especially with the mechanics we've seen on display so far. I think that's the difference maker between Charlotte and Winthrop in the series, their respective series against Clemson. Right now, Charlotte seems on point. They seem fired up. They are ready to go with those mechanics. They're keeping the ball close, controlling the pace of play. Balla being a menace, getting it by 2 with 0 boost. But now they need to be strong on defense. Beans tries to go, but Knight does well, and Balla dusts the next player. Massow trying to pass this over to Beans, but Beans no boost. Knight trying to get this into the corner. Knight to Lazy to Balla. Balla over 1, but great midfield presence coming out from Beans, keeping this ball in the UNC Charlotte half. This is more like what we saw from Clemson in the series against Winthrop. And now we see the presence coming out. Massow trying to make something happen, but no boost, elects not to go. Bad touch coming out from Beans. Lazy trying to do it himself. It goes off the backboard and into the Clemson corner.
Yeah, that was a little bit dangerous there. I don't think Lazy was quite ready for that touch, so a little bit of a save there for Clemson. But yeah, it definitely, Clemson had a little bit of pressure there, but now UNC Charlotte is back at it. I mean, they just keep hammering away attempts after attempts. Beans with a nice demo to potentially save them here. But I mean, even with 2 players, even with no boost, Ball is still up for it and still putting pressure, forcing out saves. And with this much pressure, eventually there's got to be a mistake, a double commit, a miscommunication from the defense, most likely. But you know, all of a sudden, as I say that, as we almost near the halfway point in this game, it still is a 0-0 scoreline. So even though UNC Charlotte has this pressure and a really nice pass up, actually intercepted there from Clemson. But yeah, like I was saying, it's even though Charlotte has had the pressure, what matters at the end of the day is that goal count at on the top of your screen. And it's still, as I say that, Balla breaks the tie and scores the first goal over halfway through this game too to put UNC Charlotte up 1-0.
Beautiful play coming out from the 49ers. Eventually, like you said, they will crack, right? And eventually they do. I think Clemson deserves praise for their defense, but defense doesn't win games. A kickoff chance for Clemson, but Knight should be able to fit this one into the corner, and does. Clemson playing for each other as a team, but it looks like Charlotte is just trying to skill gap them. Balla trying to do it himself, popping it over, but a great touch on the defensive stand from Clemson, making this stand again. Clemson needs to get out because stands is not what you want. You want the offensive pressure, the pressure that we saw against Winthrop, but right now, Charlotte has all the pressure in game number 2. Massow, this could be it, trying to maybe flick over 1, double commit coming out, but is bumped away. Miscommunication coming out on the side of Charlotte. Popped over mid. This could be the chance, but Lazy does get a great touch. Massow up early, trying to go for this shot. Flip reset down. Enzo does get 50'd out by Bala. Could be a quick counterattack. Lazy to Bala. No boost on the car of Bala, and away we go again. Ping-ponging yet again as we dive further into this game number 2.
Yeah, this is Clemson with a lot more opportunities here. Still a bit boost-starved, like that one opportunity where finally a breakaway happened, but no boost on that lead player. But here's another chance for Clemson. Pass from Masau to Beans, back to Masau, and not going to be able to find it. It is a double commit out of UNC Charlotte, but they get the clear. They get what they were looking for. Actually, a trade of demos, dropping it down to a 2v2 here for a second, but the demo actually puts Lazy back in the perfect position for a really nice clear. Masau gets the clear, but it's not what he was looking for. Bala stuffs him with the second goal of the game, and I believe that's his 4th goal of the series. And yeah, UNC Charlotte up 2-0 with less than 50 seconds to play. Looks like they are poised to take this game too as well.
Clemson is known for getting 2 quick goals back-to-back, so this game is far from over. 45 seconds is plenty of time, but when touches like that come out, Knight might try to capitalize on it, but it is cleared away by Masau. Over to Beans, and a beautiful clear away. I think you're going to see a lot of stalling from Charlotte, just keeping the ball in the corner where it is safe, not trying to do too much, not trying to do anything too fancy. They got their goal lead, and that is what is important. Beans able to clear this one out, but no one there to get a quick counterattack. Knight holding this midfield pressure. Lazy grabbing the back, who is making sure that these Clemson players stay on 0 and don't have a chance to get back in this game. Bala has been harassing them constantly the whole time, and because of that, he is able to skill dip them. His mechanics are warmed up. Lazy trying to go early. Bala, 3 seconds left, trying to keep it low. 50s it into the ground. Keeps it up, though, trying to get another one for the road, trying to put a little salt on the wound. Bala over to Knight. Knight, double tap, and that would have gone in if it hadn't hit the ground. Charlotte taking game number 2.
I mean, yeah, this is the UNC Charlotte that we expected to see coming into this tournament. It seems like something's clicked for them. They really got settled in at this LAN, and now, again, taking the 2-0 lead both in the game and in the series over Clemson. And Clemson has been playing well, but again, I mean, it's just a difference in the pressure. Charlotte is just doing so much. 10 shots to Clemson's 5. I mean, any game where you have double the shots of your opponent, you are bound to get a couple more going in. And yeah, we see it here. This is just Charlotte has kind of taken control. And I mean, yeah, Coulson, what do you want to see out of Clemson to try to make this reverse sweep happen?
You got to keep the ball closer. Right now, every time you pop the ball away, Bala, the player, is able to get on it. He is, I think, the highest rated player on this squad from UNCC, and if you do not keep the ball away from him, he will punish you for it. Bala again trying to take this into the corner. I think this is what I want to see. Masau over to Beans. I love the aggression in the midfield, but you got to cause a little bit more disruption before you go for something like that. You got to pull out one more defender at least to get those cleaner opportunities, unless you trust your players to hit it top right, top left every single time. Bala trying to make this goal real quick, but Masau is able to keep this one close on the back wall, immediately making that adjustment, able to beat one. Keeping close to himself again. Lazy off the ceiling. He's able to go under him. But Bala, man of the hour, able to keep it close. And I imagine he'll stay on this play for UNC Charlotte.
Yeah, we have seen a little bit more possession here from USC. A nice pass back to Lazy there from Knight. Potential follow-up there from Bala. Not going to be able to make it happen. But yeah, it is UNC Charlotte, just even when they're on the back foot and Clemson has possession, they're just so adept at getting those clears, even when they're low boost. I mean, every time that the ball has gone on their side, again, it's no goals have come for the side of Clemson, I believe, this entire series. So even when Clemson gets that pressure, UNC Charlotte just gets it out. Bala almost gets it in. A really nice save by Meso, but there's only so many really nice saves you can make if you're Clemson, because you gotta get on the board. You gotta score, or else, I mean, yeah, that's how you win this game. Is you gotta score more goals than your opponent. And so far, they've had really nice looks. They've had pretty good pressure, but none of the shots have made it through. And I mean, yeah, UNC Charlotte looks like they're just playing at a higher level right now than we've seen so far today. And I'm very happy that we're seeing this UNC Charlotte, because it really is, they are a very fun team to watch when they are firing on all cylinders. And I think that we're really seeing that from them now. But again, 2 minutes into this game, it is still a 0-0 game. Actually, Beans coming in from the top of your screen, drops one in first goal of the series there for for Clemson. Or excuse me, that's actually the second goal of the series for Clemson, and taking their first lead since that game 1.
And you saw the difference that Clemson was able to make. Balla went by the ball and was able to immediately put on pressure on that UNC Charlotte team. I think getting the ball past Balla as the man of the hour is going to be what they need to do. Able to pop it over one, whether it's a solo play or a passing play. I imagine you're going to see Balla maybe take a little bit slower pace. Maybe he'll either do that or he'll start going even faster if that's possible. He's trying to go for everything, but this is the capitalization that Clemson needs. Popping lazy over to Knight. Knight and gets a 50-50 on the ball. Massow pops it up, looking for a teammate, but Balla goes up as fast as he can. Gets a flip reset over Enzo, down to Massow. Massow with a shot, but Lazy able to pop this one into the corner. What a touch coming out from Enzo, but Balla is there, trying to follow up on it again. Get a 50. It's by 2 Clemson players and able to 50 it down. Lazy to Knight. Knight with the shot. What a great save coming out by Massow. Balla in the corner, still trying to apply the pressure, but Massow does well to break it and get his team a breath. So far, Clemson has all the pressure in this game number 3, breaking the rotation of Clemson and playing a little bit more patient, letting Charlotte get into their own half before they try to start something else.
Yeah, this is Clemson's really flipped the script in this game 3, and actually just heard some screaming in the background. I don't know if that's coming through the mic, but that's actually our NC State red team taking one map. Now it's tied up all 1-1, I believe, against UNC Greensboro on the A stream. But yeah, it's like you said, actually, here's an opportunity for Charlotte looking in Knight, but not enough speed there. Clemson able to get back on the defense, and actually a bit of a double commit bump on the teammate, but Balla is able to handle it. But I mean, yeah, it's minute 15 left on the clock. Clemson has just had more possession in this game. They've looked much better at making sure that Charlotte don't get as many clears. Actually, Balla with a really nice touch going for a second. Enzo just able to get the stop on him. 1 minute to go. Clemson holding on with the 1-0 lead, but it still is anyone's game. Charlotte missed their chance there. Clemson looked to add on to this lead. Actually, a bit of a pinch coming out for Charlotte. Able to potentially make something happen, but again, this back and forth, no one really able to find anything. At this point, it's gonna favor the team in the lead, because the more saves, the more clears come out. I mean, it's no goals going in. The clock keeps ticking down. Only 30 seconds left on this game, and unless Charlotte can do something about it, Clemson will be coming into. Oh, just as I say that Charlotte might be able, or Clemson might be able to take a game, it's actually Charlotte keeping everyone on their toes here as 15 seconds on the clock start to wind down.
Massow trying to keep the pressure on, make sure that there's a little bit more time waste, panic setting in for Charlotte. They have to do something, they have to do it now. Lazy popping over one. Massow able to cut it out though, as this ball is all but down. Knight keeps it up in the air, looking for a teammate mid. It is there, but unfortunately they're not able to get to the ball, and Clemson takes game number 3. Beautiful play coming out from Clemson. They're isolating Balla. They're making sure that when he's on the ball, someone will be there. We saw when Balla had a flip reset in the air, Enzo sent it from behind him and dove in just to take it away from him. And I mean, that's what they need to do.
Yeah, you can't let that guy just style on you. When he has that space, I mean, he's very highly ranked for a reason. Really good change of strategy there from Clemson. And even though actually it was 6 shots on Clemson and 8 shots for Charlotte. So even though Charlotte had a bit more pressure, Clemson with also double the saves there, 6 saves to UNC Charlotte's 3. So even though Charlotte still had a lot of offensive pressure, Clemson were making sure that it wasn't as good of looks. They were better on their defensive rotation, so no just free goals given up on that defensive oversight. Yeah, Clemson looking really good, and I mean, hopefully, I'd always love to see a series go the distance, go to 5. But yeah, I mean, glad to see Clemson fight back, potentially claw their way back here. But here we go into game 4 in UNC Charlotte versus Clemson.
Clemson popping this one up. Enzo trying to put it on the back wall. Start out with a great statement, but Balla is there to cut it out. Mechanics starting to come out. Maybe a little bit of fatigue, and Massow capitalizing off of the mistake from Balla. Balla is the man of the hour, but if he starts messing up, that is when Clemson is going to strike.
Yeah, this is a huge goal there for Massow. I mean, seeing how hard goals have been to come by this series. I mean, the last game just being a 1-0 end scoreline. Any goal that you can take like that off the kickoff, off a mistake, is absolutely huge. And Clemson, if they can keep this pressure up, actually Balla, too lazy, and amazing save there from Enzo, saving his team from having the game tied back up. A really nice clear there from Balla. Another opportunity for UNC Charlotte. Cleared out, but up to Knight. Great 50 there from Beans. And yeah, it's again a back and forth. Both of these teams really well matched, but it really is. UNC Charlotte looks like they've been able to, they've had a little bit more looks in this series, but yeah, Clemson has had more answers. Nice demo there coming out from Lazy, but actually a miss from Mesa, not able to make much happen off of it. But yeah, it kind of is any team that makes the mistake will get punished. This is at this level of play, any opportunity these players are going to strike any sense of blood in the water, they will go.
Charlotte looking to be the one to strike Balla, popping it over one. They're now putting Balla as the second man, which I think is a smart play. I think they need to let Balla facilitate both Knight and Lazy at this point, because Balla has been the aggressive first man, but now Knight and Lazy need to step it up. And there it is. Look at the selflessness coming out from Balla. Knight has the ball on the hood of his car. Balla not afraid to go for that demo. Make sure that Enzo has a tough save. Knight sees it, gets it past 2, and ties this game up with 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, that was really smart play there from Balla, and a nice shot, good speed on it from Knight. Actually a chance here. Mesa able to stall long enough for his teammate to be ready on the defense. Balla actually with a chance up top, but Enzo able to stop it out. And yeah, this is very interesting to see. Actually a potential shot there from Knight. It looks like UNC Charlotte has kind of taken back the tempo of this game in their favor, keeping possession. Another demo on the back line there from Balla. Potential Mesa able to find the save, but yeah, UNC Charlotte just keeping up this onslaught of attacks. Clemson finally get a clear onto the Charlotte side of the court, but I mean, yeah, once again, a really nice clear. Knight just not able to get that touch, and I mean, yeah, it really is this back and forth. Lazy also missing the touch. Maybe a bit of nerves coming out from both teams, and actually Beans, if that could have found the net, that could have been a bit of a mistake capitalized on from Clemson, but just not able to. Another demo, but this time coming from the side of Clemson. And yeah, with halfway through this game, we are still tied 1-1.
Knight popping this up to himself, hoping that Lazy can go, but it is intercepted by Enzo, put into the corner by Lazy. Knight trying to keep this one close, popping over Massow. Massow gets a bump. Beans able to get there. Charlotte might need to speed this one up. A 50 and a whiffy comes out, but Massow does well to put it into the corner. Knight taking it slow. Lazy popping it up into the air. Maybe has the flip reset. Going for the solo play himself. Tries to get the bump, but no one is there. Great touch by Beans to get it down below the diving Charlotte player, but it is in the Charlotte half now. Enzo trying to do it himself, not looking for the team plays that have been working so well for them. Knight does last back Balla with a quick shot off the post. Knight there, bang! 1 minute and 30 seconds left in game number 4, and Charlotte is up 2-1.
Yeah, this is Clemson, minute 37 on the clock to stop this 3-1 win from Charlotte. And yeah, so the onus is on them. Charlotte, though, I don't think is going to slow down anytime soon. They've really, in this game, taken back the possession lead. And yeah, the only goal so far from Clemson has been off that very first kickoff of the game. Charlotte has kind of stabilized since then. There's been a couple close calls on both sides, but yeah, once again, Charlotte taking control. I mean, these guys, for the majority of this game, I believe the ball has been on this orange side of the field, the Clemson side, and yeah, another pass back from Balla. Really nice potential pass back in. Not going to be able to do anything. Masao is up, but no boost, looking for the bump, and actually maybe he would have had a chance for the ball there. Not quite ready for it. Balla, really nice clear. Going for the double himself, gets the touch, not quite there, but Knight is there to follow up. 1 minute of regulation time left on the clock. If Clemson can't find anything here, it will be Charlotte taking this series 3-1.
Pressure is still building for Charlotte, and that's where they want to keep Clemson. right now, the pressure that Lazy and Bala are putting are allowing each other to get these crazy touches. Knight also getting involved. Team play is now the name of the game for the 49ers. 50-50 comes out between Lazy and one of the Clemson players. I can't help but laugh because it's so funny to see at such a high level. Beans trying to do it himself. Low boost. They need to go back to the selfless play. I like Beans going for the bump, but Bala is there yet again. The raw speed and potential of this guy is just carrying the 49ers, trying to do it himself on the sidewall. Enzo tries to keep it close, and Knight dunks into the net, the third goal for UNC Charlotte.
And that's a hat trick for Knight, taking matters into his own hands. It's going to be a 3-1 scoreline potentially for this game 4 and a 3-1 scoreline on the series. UNC Charlotte, again, they wanted to make a statement here. They're not going down 0-3 in this placement round robin group stage. They want to make sure that there's some respect on their name going into tomorrow. And yeah, they're going to do it. Get their win over over Clemson, which is actually really big again. Like we've been saying, the 49ers did get taken out 3-0 by Winthrop, and Clemson did 3-0 Winthrop as well. So, with the trying to logic it out at this point, it kind of seems like it's all cooked. It's all up in the air there. But, I mean, yeah, I think what I'm seeing so far from this tournament is that I think we're going to have a very fun championship Sunday in that bracket.
What I can tell you for sure is that the top 4 teams are incredibly close skill-wise. I think the Gamecocks have done the best today. Clemson falls to 1-2. Charlotte rises to 1-2. And I think Winthrop has another game a little bit later.
Yeah.
It will be
versus
between
USC,
South Carolina and Winthrop, and that will determine if we have. I think it's South Carolina would be the top of the group if they win, and Winthrop would then be second if they win. So I think South
that's
Carolina.
Gonna be a big game.
It's going to be a big game, but I think South Carolina has proven they're the ones on top. But again, incredibly close.
I know Somber was saying that USC was his number 1 going into this weekend, and I can see he knows ball clearly. But yeah, USC has been really strong so far today, and I would predict that they take that one. But anything's possible here. But again, big shout out to the UNC Charlotte team for taking their first win of the day. And actually, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to get an interview. But for now, I do want to give a huge shout out to Visit Raleigh for making this whole event possible. So they've been essential in setting this whole organization, the whole stream up. Really, really impressive stuff. Again, Raleigh has a lot of really cool stuff going on here at NC State. We got the Esports Gaming Lab, Carolina Hurricanes. We got a lot going on in Raleigh. Again, also shout out to NC State. That's where we're from. Obviously, we're going to be a little biased there, but we're being told to shout out NC State. So that's even better in my book. Yeah.
If you want to visit anywhere in Raleigh, try to get to visitraleigh.com. Book a stay, book a trip, try out the cool places around here. I think right now, I mean, I can see it in the background. We're watching the NC State and UNCG game, and it is currently 2-1 in favor of the Wolfpack. Thank you very, very much. The Pack look completely different right now. So if you want to go see that one, check out the C3 Esports League stream. Shout out to C3. Shout out to Nate for getting all of this set up for everyone today. Nate's sitting next to me on quad. He's just giggling to himself right now. That's his hand. You all know it and love it.
Next up on this stream, we've got UNC Asheville versus UNC Wilmington. Should be a good match. I know both teams have had some ups and downs today. I know UNCW took out NC State earlier, so maybe the favorite coming into this one, but we'll see.
They should be. I hope they are.
I'm sure Nate would love that. But yeah, I think that's it for us for now. So we'll be back with, again, UNC Asheville versus UNCW. But yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
Sitting at home, dream of a new destination.
Welcome back to the final matchup of the day, where we will have the UNC Asheville Bulldogs going against the Wilmington Seahawks. This will be a battle for the ages to see what the seeding will outcome be for tomorrow. And I'm joined here once again with Colson on the B stream to see what will happen for tomorrow.
So we did some caster math, so it could be wrong. Hear us out. But with this series, if UNC Wilmington wins, that means Wilmington will be the 7th seed, NC State will be the 6th seed, and UNC Greensboro will be the 5th seed. So my caster to my left will be cheering wholeheartedly for UNCW, and I will be wholeheartedly cheering for UNC Asheville. Obviously, I'm kidding. We're going to be as unbiased as we can, but if you hear an extra little pop-off, it'll happen here and there. And then once again, I want to say thank you to our sponsors really quick before we dive into the match. Visit Raleigh. If you want to visit anywhere in Raleigh, go to visitraleigh.com. Book an appointment, book a trip, book anything. There's amazing stuff down here. Thank you again so much for sponsoring. And then thank you to NC State as well for sponsoring. We're in the esports lab right now. The atmosphere, the ambiance, as the French say, is out of this world. I wish I could flip this camera around and show you, but I cannot, because I believe we are about to get into this game.
Yeah, and I can confirm that because two of the players I coach at East Tennessee State are from France. So so I can confirm that. And also another word we like to say is passion. The passion or passion is because a lot of these players, you can hear the uproar from them whenever a goal happens or whenever they're able to get that pressure going. As we see, is this, am I going crazy, or are all the Asheville players in the new, like, Chevy cars, except for Mac? You can tell they're trying to have a good time at this lane, and they're showing a lot of passion with that, because they're trying to have fun while still trying to win, as we see Guzzo and Sunday Driver going for the pinch. And heck, I mean, hey, if the Chevy cars are going to work, then American made right at it, baby.
I'm glad that Asheville's having a lot of fun here. They, I think, have had a rough day so far, going 0-2 on the day, trying to make it 1-2, and I think that they could do it. I'm glad that their heads are in the right spot. They're having fun with it, enjoying the land, because it is awesome. And so far, the aggression that they are showing is working out for them. Scoreless, 1 minute in. Sluggish pops it back down to himself. Kuzo gets the 50. Sunday Driver popping the ball to himself, gets another 50. A demo comes out on the back line. This is a 1v1. Sluggish is able to get the save, and here comes the Seahawks.
I'm just looking at their cars still, and it's you just have the Mexico flag with, like, I don't even know what decal that is, and some Zombo wheels going on this dang car. And I mean, hey, power to them, because they're still able to keep this game even a minute and a half through with it, and maybe even get a goal to take the lead. As Sluggish is awkward on the backboard, as Wilmington trying to take it quick through, and they're able to get a counterattack. No one on the back end for the Bulldogs, as it might be a goal-scoring opportunity. Sluggish tries to get a shot, but unfortunately for Sluggish, just barely tapping that with his wheels. A little weak there on his side, but it's still going to stay in the half of the orange, as we see a treat coming out from the pizza topper. And I'm still going to talk about their card. It's so funny to see it, but again, like you said, I'm glad that they're having a good time with this and still trying to enjoy the game while still trying to win as well.
Steve taking this to the backboard, saved away by Sunday Driver. Weak shot on, and Sunday Driver gets a worldy of a save. Kuzo with a follow-up save. UNCW has the pressure, but Kuzo gets a great demo. Shot on target. Sunday Driver with another beautiful save. Defense standing strong for this orange team. Mac able to pop this one out. Kuzo on the ball. Sluggish able to cut it out and get by two defenders. Sunday Driver looking to pop this one over, and does. Steve getting demoed for his efforts, trying to keep the ball close. Mac able to pop this one out. Reticle a little too far forward, but no one is there. Maybe an own goal. Steve trying to put the mechanics on display and put a banger into his own net, but it remains scoreless as Steve is up in the air, tries to get one over, and it pops back into the midfield.
Yeah, I think Wilmington might have heard about the whole entire situation with the seeding and maybe taking bets or something, but let's do a quick run through of the scenario. So Wilmington, if they end up winning this series, no matter if it's 3-0, 3-1, 3-2, they secure the 7th seed. NC State will go to 6, and UNCG will be the 5 seed. If Wilmington ends up losing this, though, they will drop to the 8th seed, and NC State will take the 5th, UNCG will take the 6th, and Asheville will bump up to the 7th because they will have that head-to-head. It will then go to head-to-head between the two.
I didn't even think about that.
So Asheville is looking to move up a spot and not have to play the 1 seed, and South Carolina, who comes in as the 3 seed, and I expected them to be the 1 seed going into this because I've seen how dominant they have been recently with a CRL around the corner, or them getting done with CRL, I should say. But even so, I mean, these teams are battling for positions for tomorrow. All of them make it to tomorrow, and tomorrow being the most important day, so obviously you see like the trolling with the cars a little bit, but seeding still matters, so this will determine who they play against. So you still want to win this series if you want to put yourself in a better chance in order to have a easier opponent.
Easy opponent is an interesting way to put it. You're going against Clemson, South Carolina, Charlotte, or Winthrop as Reticle goes for the double touch. Steve with a shot, top right, beautiful placement coming out from the Seahawks. Reticle goes for the double touch. Low Boo's not able to get to it, but that fake out causes Sunday Driver to go early, and Steve puts that perfectly into the top right of the net. Seahawks take a 1-0 lead.
I think Steve's secret name is Robin Hood, the way he sniped that bullseye top right, just shooting the arrow into the corner perfect. So that's going to give him the lead that they need was last minute of the game, as we see Mac trying to clear it out, a commit from Sunday Driver as the 3rd. Reticle taking his time off the sidewall, tries to go for the drop, ends up faking out Kuzo. A demo coming out on the back line to kill the 2nd man. Kuzo tries to turn, and Asheville, once again, they're trying to put the pressure on, but it's going right back into their half. What a save by Sunday Driver. And again, still pressure mounting for Wilmington. They've been so aggressive on this front half. Even with all the balls that have been sent to the blue half, they're able to clear it right back on. So with only 20 seconds remaining, we see Asheville having to regather themselves and try to get a goal, as I say gather rather than gather. But you see the pressure that's mounting, and Sunday Driver tries to get the flick to tie the game. And Sunday Driver in the Chevy, America made, fly the USA flag. There we go. Sunday Driver with a flick and a half over Reticle.
I know Reticle's looking at the screen like Sunday Driver's profile picture. The Fortnite guy just staring at it like, are you serious right now? 6 seconds left. They tie it up. Mac getting a 50 off Steve, trying to do it himself, and this one in regulation, but a great 50 comes out. Kuzo fakes it out. Sunday Driver not ready for it. And here we go. Overtime in game number 1. Last series of the day. I couldn't wish for anything better myself. Sluggish with a mistouch. Kuzo trying to pop this one mid, but Sluggish does well to recover from it. Contrary to his name, he's able to get to that second ball very quickly, and Steve continues the pressure down the field. Kuzo taking it himself, popping it over Sluggish, trying to get to Sunday Driver, but a miscue. Sluggish trying to put this in over to Steve, but Steve not enough boost to make something happen. Sluggish gets back to this one though. Reticle trying to pop this one down, and Mac able to pop this one back into the UNC half. Going for a bump, but unfortunately not able to hit the target, but Sunday Driver able to hit the target, and UNC Asheville take game number 1.
Sunday Driver with the goals that were needed to come back and win. He got the flick with only 6 seconds remaining in order to tie this one up and send it overtime. And he gets the game winner with the pizza wheels, the pizza topper. And you can tell after having some Domino's earlier today that the pizza is running through his veins, as that allows him to get the 2 goals in order to take this one. And you look at the stats, 6 saved, 2 goals, 926 points. Mac Monster and Kuzo sit back in the backpack as it is air conditioned, and it is a free ride to a win. Wilmington trying to play close, but just not close enough for the Fortnite pick.
And all the space in that Chevy van.
Yep.
You know, I bet they're pretty comfortable in that backpack. 900, over 900.
Yep.
Over 900. Let me say it again. Sunday Driver absolutely dominating in game number 1, and that's what Asheville is going to need to have if they're going to stay in this series. But Reticle has something to say about it. Trying to do an air dribble, but Kuzo makes a great save on the goal line. Sunday Driver cutting that one off. Mac a little bit off the goal line, and Sluggish able to put one into the back of the net, giving the Seahawks an early lead.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe this is what Asheville need. The Bulldogs needed the good vibes and like the little bit of the trolls going, these cars that don't see too much in professional play or even Rocket League play in general. But unfortunately, a missed touch there from Sunday Driver as he's trying to clear it out, goes into the hands of Wilmington, and they're able to capitalize as they're going to be looking to keep it onto this orange half as we see a third man commit. Then Mac and Sluggish trying to go quick off the back wall, gets it over 1. It's going to be an open net, and a Sunday Driver once again has something to say about it. He has been the man, the myth, the legend, for this series for the Bulldogs, but even so, it's still a long way to go. We're only on game number 2 here in Forbidden Temple. It's a beautiful map, but Asheville's trying to make it look a little bit better with a win on their column, but right now Wilmington trying to keep the press right back on as that ball is sticking in their half. They got to get it clear. There goes the second man flying through. Sunday Driver left as the last man. He's trying to dive forward, and the pinch comes under as Reticle getting loud, yelling at the top of his lungs. You can hear him throughout the arena, and UNC Wilmington taking the 2-goal lead.
Reticle with a beautiful play under one into the back of the net. I think the Seahawks have woken up. They are here to play, and they are here to win. Down 1-0 in this series. Let's see if they can continue their hot streak. Mac, love the midfield pressure from him. I love how he's staying just a little bit behind as he tries to pop this one out. But Reticle trying to do it himself again. Steve and Reticle both don't end up going for the ball, and that allows Sunday Driver to quickly get to it. Sluggish able to get by the last man as you hear another pop off from the Seahawks. Everyone giggling and having a good time as they're all getting excited in this game number 2.
Wilmington making sure their voices are heard after losing that game 1, and the Bulldogs getting rowdy after that game 1 win, and they're trying to get it right back with a game 2 win to tie this series up. Sluggish going up high, and we've seen the team play be a lot more eccentric and be more put together from this Seahawk team as they have been more well-rounded, looking to get that press on and playing in positions like this. Reticle just sticking his foot forward as he's already sitting upfield, trusting this bang from Sluggish to come in, and he's just ready to tap that one home.
I think there is a skill diff a little bit in this lobby. I think the UNCW squad just needed to get themselves composed. I think they thought this series might be a little easy, and because of that, they got punched in the mouth as Sunday Driver sent this one over to the corner. A minute and a half in, they're already up by 3, and they are looking ecstatic. Steve able to steal the boost, gets bumped for his efforts. Mac trying to put some midfield pressure on, and Kuzo with a miss on the back line, but fortunately it won't bite him just yet. Fake coming out from Sluggish, that could have been a goal. Pops it up off the ceiling, trying to get back to it himself, but no one from the squad bites on it. Kuzo trying to keep the pressure on. Reticle popping this one back over. Sluggish up early. Shot from Reticle, but it goes wide. Steve with the follow-up, popping it. A slow roller over, but Sunday Driver able to get back to it. A bump onto Reticle. I think he was assisted from an Asheville player, and that gives them a 5-0 lead 2 minutes in.
Hey, Asheville, we're playing Rocket League, not pool. You shouldn't be using Reticle as a pull ball to knock the ball into your own net. But instead, that is what they do, whether they meant to or not, as that Chevy van is not tough enough to be able to demo him through, and that's going to be another goal heading to the way, and only half the game through, and it's already a 5-0 lead for the Seahawks. Maybe a 6-0 Sluggish can score this with 0 boost, has to backflip into it, but Sunday Driver getting the save. It's still getting loud in here. Maybe again if the Seahawks can score, but Steve getting that one off the backboard and trying to play it out into his own half, but instead it's going to be another goal, and the Bulldogs are barking right back at the Seahawks.
You think it's possible? I think I saw 5 goals come out from the Seahawks. I think I could see 4 more coming out from the Bulldogs. They are alive and well as Sunday Driver appears yet again on the screen, diving into this next kickoff. A little miscommunication coming out from the Bulldogs as Reticle tries to take it up to the ceiling for himself. Oh my goodness, Sunday Driver just pre-jumping of doom for that. Kuzo misses on the back line. Steve whiffs on the ball. Sluggish shoots, and it goes into the top left corner and away. Reticle with his 3 goals. Sluggish with 2. Steve still needs to get his 1. And I think this is the passing play to do it. Reticle down to Steve. Steve hit a little sidewall redirect for us one time. He gets beat out by Mac. Sunday Driver trying to get back into this game. And 50's Reticle, but Reticle does well to put this back into the Seahawks corner.
I'd say Wilmington, that goal that they allowed a little bit ago, maybe just trying to set up a Brazil watch here as they're up 5-1 with still 2 minutes remaining, as we see Steve trying to use another pull cue in order to get the shot through it. There it goes, Reticle getting the 6-1, only one more to send a one-way trip, a flight all the way to Rio de Janeiro for Asheville, and for them right now, they might be looking as good as Cancun to send them on vacation, because this is not looking like it's going in their favor unless they can pull this one back in a minute and 40 down by 5.
Like you said, we're waddling. We're on our way down south. Right now, I think it could be possible. Steve popping it over. Kuzo missed, and there we are. Steve does not get the goal, but they do get a trip to Brazil for it. I don't think Steve has any goals so far, and doesn't. Reticle with 4, Sluggish with 3. It is what it is. I'd be a little mad if I was him. Sluggish stealing that one literally at the last second from him.
I was about to say, pack your bags, boys. We're going on a vacation. Unfortunately for Asheville, it's not the vacation that they want. Either way, they're still having fun. You can hear the screaming in the background. They're enjoying themselves, win or loss. As I feel like they already know. I can hear them yelling solo play at the top of their lungs as all 3 go for it. And that's going to be another goal. Excuse me for all the laughter, but if y'all were here in the arena, if you're anywhere near Raleigh, you have to come witness this for yourself. It is a marvel to hear them scream at the top of their lungs, win or loss for either side.
Steve letting out a scream of joy, finally able to get his first goal on the board. It seemed like his teammates were trying to keep it from him, and honestly, they might have. I'm glad the Asheville players are having fun, though. You could hear Kuzo say solo play, and then steal the ball directly off his teammate's car. They're enjoying themselves in the Chevy cars. Kuzo with a great save. You can hear him screaming if you could. Another booming scream from Kuzo. Sluggish taking this one over to the back wall, over to Reticle. Reticle with a shot. What a shot! Oh my goodness, Mac! Beautiful pass from Reticle, and Mac hits the shot of the series so far. Are you kidding me? Look at that touch. Bottom right corner over Sunday Driver.
Can we call shot of the day out of any series? I mean, it's kind of unfortunate because it's on their own net, but what a banger that was of a redirect from Mac Monster. Unfortunately, it's not on the blue net. It's on his own, like I said, but either way, you can still hear them screaming, and I think Wilmington's kind of giving compliments to the chef at this point for that chef's kiss of a goal, and Sluggish is trying to get another one through, possibly. Steve with his pickaxe in hand going for the goal, for the pass, but no one able to follow through, as once again Kuzo trying to get it down. A duck coming out. They're still screaming at the top of their lungs as we hear there might be some Bulldogs in the building, but it's definitely not the Bulldogs barking. It's the Seahawks, which I do not know how that works. I feel like it'd be more of a squawk, but either way, it looks like it will be a guaranteed win here in Game 2 for the Seahawks unless we can get 8 goals in 0 seconds.
Oh.
It's possible. Unless it's, you know, just gonna hit the ground.
Come on, boys.
I mean, the ball's still staying up. It's possible, Collegiate. Come on.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Oh.
Double! Ah! Almost bringing that game back. That would have been a 9-2 scoreline instead of a 9-1. And then maybe with 0 seconds, 7 goals, maybe the admin could hit the new pause button,
I can
change
see
the
it.
score. But unfortunately not. I think UNCW did a great job of just skill diffing that game.
Yep.
They kept Sunday Driver contained after his crazy game in game number 1, and that, I think, is what led to their success. Wow. Reticle, 5 goals. One of them goes to McMonster. Sluggish with 3, but one of them should have been Steve's.
Yep.
Goal frenzy, goal bonanza, and only 2 saves coming out from Wilmington. They had all the pressure for the entirety of that game. But as you can hear the Bulldogs, they're yelling at one another saying, oh, come on, come on. They're just joking around. Whoa, as we hear a pop-off, but that is actually from another game that we have, as we're waiting for Steve to ready up and dive into game number 3.
I'm about to say, if they're popping off just in the menu, just like for everyone readying up, then that'd be a different beast to handle, I would say. But yeah, that is going on over on the A stream right now, as this is the last match today for both sides, so this determines a lot of seeding when it comes to these matches. And we've already went through the scenarios for the B side, and I know for the A side might be a little bit different. Not too sure, but either way, let's focus right back on this game as we still see the Chevy fans staying in. They're keeping faith in them. As Kuzo already trying to get it off, started quickly. Mac trying to get the shot down low, but a great block out to the corner. And Sunday Driver will regather. Sunday Driver, I'm going to keep saying his name like it's a NASCAR driver, just because every time I say it, it makes me think I'm either at the Kentucky Derby with horses or I'm casting a NASCAR race. Either way, all I feel is vroom vroom, and we're going quick at it.
Kuzo popping this one past mid as we hear a pop-off from the game on our A stream. Sluggish going under McMonster. What a fake, a monster fake from Sluggish, and he takes a lead 30 seconds into game number 3.
just what a play. A great fake down low from Sluggish, and even with 0 boost, it's a wide open net. The third man nowhere to be found for Asheville, and again, they're not in the right spots whatsoever. It just feels like you can tell that this series is just a fun one. Like, obviously going down 9-1 and still screaming at the top of your lungs. They're enjoying as much as they can. So I don't, obviously they're still trying to win here and there, but if they want to, golly, with it getting loud in here. If they want to win though, they got to stay aggressive and they can't let up, because right now that's what they did last game. They literally just sat on their own half and were on going pretty much, then allowing Wilmington to get those. So Wilmington is going to look to keep taking advantage, but Asheville, you know, once they get a goal or two, they can easily turn this around.
And Asheville could do it right here. Kuzo trying to do it himself, but Reticle makes a great save. I like the aggression coming out of McMonster. I think he was a little quiet. Oh my goodness, as a demo from Kuzo onto Steve. Let Sunday Driver tie up this game. Like I was saying, McMonster is showing the aggression and is willing to dive into the other half. You have nothing to lose. You just lost 9-1. Just send it. And just sending it is leading to the success. Tie game between UNCW and UNCA.
Hey, if you want anyone to score, you want it to be Sunday Driver for the Bulldogs, as he has had all their goals this series. But a wide open net on the other end, and Steve is going to find the diamond in the rough, as I use another Minecraft pun there with the Steve. But either way, he just has a wide open net, and all he has to, he doesn't even have to touch it. He just gets the first one and lets it go as he flies with it.
Yeah, that's the downside of sending it as the last man. Shout out McMonster, but he pushed a little bit too far up, wasn't able to recover from it, but UNCA is not going to go away. Kuzo almost, you can hear him screaming in the background, thinking he's about to pop off. Steve able to 50 this one down. Sluggish gets a 50 on McMaster, and Kuzo is able to scoop this one back to himself. Reticle gets a touch over to himself, trying to get a flip reset over 1, trying to go over 2, gets a 50 down, but no one is there to follow up. Sunday Driver on the ball, the man of the hour for the Bulldogs, gets a strong flick. Reticle pops this one over to Steve. Come on, Sunday, get to it. Steve with a weird touchdown. Sunday Driver trying to pop this one mid, get a flip reset over 1, over 2, but Sluggish with a great save. McMonster almost putting that one in the back of the net, but Steve does a great job getting back the Seahawks.
Every single time I see the camera switch to Sluggish, because he has that like orange decal, makes me think of Sunday Driver's decal, and I keep thinking he's like saving his own teammates' shots for some reason. I'm like, I know they're having fun, but you still want to win. You can't be having that much fun. Either way, Sluggish, that just tells you that Sluggish is doing a good job at being on the ball when he needs to. But Reticle, a whiff there that almost leaves an open net, and that goes right back into the hands, luckily, of Reticle, with a pass coming out from his teammate. So he's going to now try to throw it into the corner, try to get it past Sunday Driver, but Sunday Driver has been a strong player for the Bulldogs, being able to create space, and we usually say it's Kuzo. Kuzo has the mechanics to be able to enable his teammates and advance it downfield, but so far Sunday Driver has been in the lead on taking the front runner of the series. And now it still looks like it's all the pressure coming in from Wilmington. A shot almost goes through, but Sluggish having to dive at it to try to keep it in. And all three are up. This might be a wide open net off the bump, but Sluggish a good cut, as third man is going to deny an opportunity.
That could have been Asheville's opportunity to take this game, number 3, but Reticle passes over to Steve. Steve trying to get it off the backboard, gets a bump, and Sluggish able to slot this one into the back of the net. Selfless play coming out from the Seahawks, giving them a 2-goal lead. Kuzo just flipping right there. Unfortunate. Sunday Driver gets bumped off the ball, and that is an easy shot for a player like Sluggish.
Yeah, I mean, you just cannot beat leaving the net that open, especially off the bump. I mean, you can't really control it once you get bumped. But once you get bumped and the net's wide open, it's just a free tap in for Wilmington, which they have been doing so well today. And not just in this series, against the other teams as well, against like NC State, UNCG, even though they got swept by UNC Greensboro and they won 3-1 against NC State. We're still looking to keep a strong hand forward, as right now Kuzo trying to take it back onto that blue half, gets blocked out by Steve on the low end. Mac goes a little bit too quick into the play. Sluggish is third, takes the pop shot, and the pop shot goes right in off the pass from Steve. Another one, and we have, within the past 2 games, a 13-2 score line, and just, I mean, what else can you say about this? Because it's just a scoring bonanza for the Wilmington.
I think this is a confidence game for them. You know, no team gets eliminated going into tomorrow, so I'm glad that Astro's having a good time, just trying to keep the vibes up. But if you're scoring 9 goals in a game and scoring 4 in another, maybe going for a fifth as Reticle fakes this one out for Sluggish, I think that's a good vibe as well, right? Obviously, you win the series, you're feeling good going into tomorrow. That's when it matters. Single elimination, any game, could be anyone's. We could see some crazy upsets because of this tournament format. Sunday Driver trying to do it himself, but no boost to follow up to that one. Steve gets it past two. Kuzo is last back, pops this one out, but no one is down fuel for it. Sluggish whiffs on that one, leaving it for Reticle. And Sunday Driver and Big Monster both go for this one. Big Monster able to 50 it down after his initial touch, and Sunday Driver beats Sluggish out to the ball. Midfield presence from Steve as he gets a weird touch. Great shot from Kuzo, but weak. Oh, maybe a pinch, but Reticle able to save this one out. 20 seconds left. Kuzo to McMonster, but beat out by Sluggish. Sunday Driver papping this one back mid for Kuzo. Steve putting this off the backboard. Waterfall down, but Kuzo is there. Flick over one defender back, and it is Sluggish. Gets a free shot onto the ball, and this game, barring a kickoff goal, will end 5-1 in favor of the Seahawks.
Yeah, possibly another Brazil if they can get 2 kickoff goals in 2 seconds. But either way, that is the nail in the coffin for sure. That will secure a 2-1 series lead going into game number 4 as we see Wilmington just being very dominant on the offensive end and still staying stout on defense as we see a goal there as not anymore 5-1, it is a 5-2 win for as we see 6 goals go to 7 as that player tag says 6-7. All right, I will officially end my career there. All right, y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. But either way, Wilmington still playing really well and able to, against the still in positive vibes. And I know that these games, they're trying to have as much fun as possible. But for Asheville, you still got to think in the back of your mind, if you lose this, you are guaranteed 8th seed. You're having to go against South Carolina, a team who's been top 30 in the country, barring if they win against Winthrop. They're up 2-0 right now. As long as they win that, they should be guaranteed 1 seed. And you have to go against them first round of the day, 10 a.m. in the morning. That's a hard matchup, and I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, they'd have to come out swinging strong,
Yes.
stronger than they have today. And I don't know if you guys can hear this through the mic, but this game is all fun and games. Everyone's having a good time, even if you're down 9-1 or 5-1. You're having a good time. You're going, yeah, whatever, right? But the tension in the air from the South Carolina and Winthrop game is palpable. They are talking smack. South Carolina is, what are you doing? You know, you remember when Calm said, what are you doing, wave to relating wave? It is that vibe in this stadium, and I'm glad that we can hear it. But now focusing back on this series, McMonster gets beat out by Steve at the midfield. Sunday Driver gets demoed by Steve. But a great 50 coming out. Kuzo able to 50 out Reticle. This one stays in the UNCW hat. McMonster, great turnaround, able to beat out one player. Reticle popping this one up off the backboard. Kuzo can't get to it. Pop off from the Winthrop squad. Hog shooting this one down. What a beautiful shot. Beautiful play coming out. Kuzo with a chance, but unfortunately this one stays 0-0. 30 seconds in to game number 4.
Listen, this is what I love about LANs. LANs, you just, the energy that any team can bring at any given time is just so beautiful. And I've been to so many LANs, especially within the past month. Like I said before, I've said to a lot of people today that I've been to DreamHack in Atlanta, Georgia, where it's like thousands and thousands of people. I've been to Kentucky at Bluegrass Boost Battle, where we have some of the top teams in the country competing, and you can hear a lot of them get loud. A lot of them have designated hype men, where they will literally stand behind the players, and the second they score, they will scream at the top of their lungs to get into their opponent's heads, because it's not just a game about mechanics and being a team player and all that kind of stuff. This is also a mental game, where you can get in your opponent's head on LAN, where this is why it's very different. Like, you can see any team win beat any team as well, because if you're like getting in their head, screaming at the top of your lungs, making sure that it like flusters them at all, that can be the difference between a win and a loss of a series. They're looking to use every advantage of it, as both Wilmington, Asheville here, and the teams on the AT stream are as well. Right now, we haven't really heard them get loud whatsoever, as we haven't seen any goals so far within these first 2 minutes of the game, as Asheville and Wilmington kind of just been back and forth in this game.
The only thing I heard was a little bit of frustration on the side of UNCW. I think there was 3 or 4 saves in a row, and a UNCW player said, come on, just like a little frustrated. But this is A great save. I thought that one was going to go into the back of the net, but Sunday Driver bailing out his team yet again off the corner. Sunday Driver low boost, trying to get it over one. Kuzo interference on the back line, but Steve able to still get the save. Steve with a quick shot. Kuzo popping this over into the corner, beating out his own teammate McMonster. A little bit of communication issues coming out. Reticle popping this one over to Steve. McMonster up early. Sunday Driver able to get this one to himself. Sluggish, great first touch. Probably gets a flip reset on this, and does, but it does not go into the back of the net. Steve gets beat out by Sunday Driver in the orange corner. Sluggish popping this one, just keeping it back in. McMonster up early, popping this one over Steve. Reticle in the corner, trying to shoot this to himself. McMonster able to get this one out, popping over another defender, but Sluggish does well to keep the presence in the midfield. This one goes harmlessly into the orange corner. 0-0, 2 minutes remaining in game.
Just demos coming out on the midfield as we see Kuzo going for Steve there, getting off the backboard, but it might be a pass right to Sluggish, as once again just a miscue from the orange half in Asheville as they dime up Sluggish. Sluggish was just waiting as first mate, trying to stay aggressive, and he did it perfectly. Just a mistimed read and a free goal in his name. You can probably still hear them getting loud over in the Winthrop for South Carolina series as South Carolina, a little score update. They are up 2-0, but Winthrop is up 3-2 in this game number 3 to try to reverse sweep.
Sluggish pops this one into the corner. Sunday Driver keeping it there as well. The least threatening spot on the field for the goal. You can hear the Winthrop players are starting to give back some of that aggression to the South Carolina players, but that's not important right now. Sluggish trying to keep the pressure on to UNCA. McMonster gets dunked out by Sluggish. Ball rolls down, and Steve is there, making it a 2-0 lead with a minute and a half remaining.
And just again, another mistouch from McMonster. He's been so good on defense today, and these kind of touches just cannot be happening in a must-win game. Keep your series hopes alive to give you a better chance at a better spot for tomorrow, as just another let up as that's going to go right into the hands of UNC. I was about to say Asheville Wilmington, and Steve getting another one as right there, just another good passing play. Sluggish with the read off the demo, gets the double touch off the wall, and a great shot by Steve to finish that one home.
I think UNCW is remembering that they have mechanics. They just need to get that extra touch that will throw off the UNC Asheville defenders. And that's what's led to their 3 goals late in this game number 4. Sluggish popping this one up. Monster up early. I like how early he is going up for these balls. Sluggish trying to do it again. McMonster no boost. Pinch down off the ceiling, and Kuzo is there. Reticle keeping this one in. Steve is up for it, but it is popped out back to Sluggish. Kuzo looking for a demo and keeping this play alive for Asheville. Steve back into the corner. Sluggish demoed out. Steve popping it over. McMonster, Sunday Driver, quick turn, and is able to keep pressure on this midfield line. McMonster, bad recovery on the wall. Sluggish keeping this one in. You have to score if you're Asheville, and you have to score now. 35 seconds left. You need 2 kickoff goals and 1 goal. This could be it. This is the chance, but it is boomed away, and Sluggish looks for a double touch that goes wide.
Asheville just has to hold into this lead Park plus for the next 25 seconds in order to win this series and guarantee them the 7th seed. And as we kind of go back into that seeding, as we call this like the second bracket or whatever, but I also like to think of this bracket as the land, sea, and air bracket, because we have the Seahawks for the sea, we have the land being the Wolves and the Spartans, and the air also kind of being the Seahawks with a mix of the Bulldogs. So it's like all together, but either way, that goal will be the nail in the coffin for Wilmington, and they will end up being 2-1 alongside NC State and Greensboro, which will secure Greensboro as the 5th seed, NC State as the 6th seed, Seahawks as the 7th seed, and Asheville as the 8th seed.
Beautiful games from Asheville. They still have a chance for tomorrow. Sunday Driver, I think, will be key in the series that he has against the number 1 seed, whoever that may be. Reticle keeping this ball up at 0 seconds, keeping the good sport as we've seen all series. But as that ball hits the ground, UNCW takes the series 3-1. That was the last game on today's broadcast, and it has been a pleasure casting with you today. Currently on the C3 Esports League stream, we have the South Carolina Gamecocks versus the Winthrop stream. Before you head over and do that, we do have an interview with one of the UNCW players coming up.
welcome back, everybody, to the final interview of the day, day number 1 of the C3 LAN. I have Sluggish here with me from UNC Wilmington, and Sluggish, that was a interesting series, I will say. We saw the Chevys come out from Asheville, and also y'all with a 9-1 win, and I think it was a 5-2 win. I mean, I saw the vibes were good on both ends. It was just like a friendly rivalry where you both y'all kind of just chirping back and forth for fun. Or how was the series from y'all's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun playing Asheville. They always bring a lot of energy. They usually have an entourage, so it's like every game there's an audience. Every game we get loud. Dropping game 1, I can't lie, was unexpected.
Yep.
Nobody saw that coming on our team. Our coach was telling us to lock in, but yeah, overall it's just a really fun time. You know, everybody's going for stuff. Everybody's going for demos.
Yes. I mean, heck, with how y'all are playing, again, like you said, game 1, a little bit shaky start, and
Yeah.
then you saw game 2, y'all got so confident. I mean, a 9-1 win to where you were literally forcing the opponents to pull shot you into the ball. I saw Mac hit an insane redirect on his own net off the pass. Like, at this point, it just felt like a 6v0 where they were trying to put it on their own net. But going into tomorrow, so the way that we kind of calculated the seeding is that for this group specifically, with y'all's win, UNC Greensboro will take the 5th seed.
Yeah.
NC State will be the 6th seed. Y'all are the 7th, and Asheville is the 8th. So, barring how you can hear them in the background getting loud with how Winthrop and South Carolina are playing, one of those two will most likely take the 1 and 2 seed. So, is there any hopes of like who you kind of wish you play against between those two, or are y'all just kind of looking to go into it and be like, we no matter who we play against, we know we're gonna win?
Yeah, we kind of have a like just play who's in front of us mentality. I think we have a little bit of a mental barrier when it comes to USC. We've definitely struggled with them in the past compared to Winthrop. But this new Winthrop roster this season is something like obviously they swept Charlotte this morning. Like both teams are definitely going to be tough to play against, but I'm confident like as long as we lock in, we play like we played today against NC State, then I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and like we saw, I mean, just insane games from everyone today. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw, like we talked about, Winthrop upsetting Charlotte, and Charlotte started out 0-2 when they were the number 1 seed coming in on 3
Yeah.
tournaments, and then Clemson sweeping Winthrop, almost perfect sweep. And
Yeah.
like this is the whole entire thing I say about like lane environment. So much changes
It's
because
just different.
it is so much different with all how loud people get and how comfortable you are trying to get adjusted to like the monitors. You're not used to all the bright lights being in your face, which literally the whole entire saying of like the lights were too bright.
Yeah.
Like it literally it can happen in these situations. It's whatever team is more down to earth and can kind of control themselves in these situations. So obviously today was the group stage. Y'all are just getting adjusted to it, but tomorrow is the big day. So I'm expecting y'all to do good, get some rest, be ready for that. But until then, as we hear, looks like Winthrop actually might close that out, but that is on the A stream, so you should go check that out as we close things here over at the B stream. So I want to last time give a big thank you to Visit Raleigh. If you are ever in the area of North Carolina or deciding to visit Raleigh.com is the place to go, because Raleigh, being the capital of North Carolina, is such a beautiful place to visit with so many things to do and ton of great opportunities to see, especially for sports. If you like hockey, Carolina Hurricanes, we say it a lot, and we love them here because they're a really good team, unless we're talking about the Eastern Conference Finals. So unless you are a huge fan, I would suggest visiting Raleigh for sure and checking out. And once again, it is visitraleigh.com. But until then, until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure to visit us again as we have playoffs tomorrow for the C3 League. Don't miss it, and we will see you tomorrow. But until then, goodbye for the last time today.